6 o'clock at the MJ Morning Show. MJ and Roxanne. Fester's becoming more tardy. It's seen. Oh, here he is. Come on, dude. Can you just get here?
I don't appreciate this at all.
What don't you appreciate? I asked one simple thing that everyone's just in place before we open up the microphones at 6 o'clock, and you just strolling in. So exactly what don't you appreciate?
Listen.
2, 4, 6, 8. What don't we appreciate?
It's just about everything around here.
All right, great.
All right, I got involved with a slow roller, a pack of slow rollers.
All right, slow rollers.
I've had that happen.
Yeah, usually, listen, hey.
Where were the slow? It all depends on where the slow rollers were.
It seems like it was the entire ride in.
Oh, the entire ride in.
You know what? I've had slow rollers recently too, so I believe you, Fester.
You
That's
were
a good excuse.
slow rolled all the way from getting on at Bierce on 275 all the way south, all the way through Malfunction Junction, downtown, through West Shore, over the Howard Franklin. Slow rollers kept you from passing them the entire time?
It just seems like I was in a pack of traffic. Usually I try to break free. I get a little speed going. I'm not a dangerous driver, but I'm pretty good at bobbing and weaving.
What's that song? I want to break free.
I think that's the song. I want to break free.
That's Queen, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, not one of the bigger Queen hits,
No.
but I want to. Can you get me the hook on that, Andrew, please? Because it sounds like Fester wanted to break free, but you couldn't. So for your entire, how many miles have you ever clocked your mileage from your front door in Lutz all the way to our front door here near 4th and Gandy in St. Petersburg? What is it? If I were to guess, 23 miles? Is that about right?
25 miles.
What'd I say?
23.
All right,
Yeah,
pretty
25
close.
miles.
All right, 25 miles.
I just pulled it up on Waze.
Yeah, I heard something yakking over there.
Yeah.
So
But-
you, the whole way you were slow rolled and you couldn't weave, you couldn't turn, you couldn't pull around someone.
So usually, like, let's say I'm on the 275 coming south part
Mm-hmm.
before downtown. Let's say I'm in a pack of slow rollers where there's a construction zone.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, no big deal. Because
Right.
I'll make it up on the bridge. But you know what? I was just in cars the whole time.
Oh, come on! I don't believe it. For
It's the truth.
23 miles, you
It's the
couldn't make a couple of moves to get
Listen,
around
hold
slow
on.
rollers.
This is
And
the
when you
deal.
say slow rollers, are we talking about they were going exactly the speed limit, under the speed limit? Where were they on
know
the
what?
slow roll scale?
So I want you to keep an eye on this as you just travel around the interstate, no matter what time of day, in the slow lane. And I don't live in the slow lane, so I don't always notice this, but there are a lot of people going 50 miles an hour.
So under
Yeah.
the speed limit.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, because I tried to hook out to the slow lane to pass this truck, and there's like this old 1992 Jeep Wrangler yellow one just putting along.
How do you know that the Jeep
Putson.
the Jeep Wrangler, for many, many years, I don't know if you could specifically tell the difference unless you're some kind of, Jeep expert, some kind of Jeep nerd with all those stupid rubber ducks in the front dashboard. But how do you know it was a 1992 Jeep Wrangler?
It could have been an 88, could have been a 90. I don't know. You know
All right,
that smaller Jeep just put. I'm like, gee, my nitty, what is this guy doing here? Anyway, I don't need to be held up by slow rollers for hours. I was literally 12 seconds after you hit the
So
light.
you were saying to yourself, I'm like, yeah, I want the hook.
Yeah,
Not
just the hook, not the hook.
Give me the most irrelevant part of the song.
We'll rock out to the song later. I just need the hook now.
Yeah, I want to break free, because when Fester said he was trying to break free, that's what came to mind.
But the culmination, Roxanne, and you know this, the culmination of being held up only by milliseconds combined for me walking in
Yes.
not 12 minutes late,
All right.
12 seconds,
Yeah.
and here you are. I only ask one simple thing.
Yeah,
Well-
you're
One
like
thing.
the just-in-time manufacturing process over here,
Just in time.
where the parts arrive on the assembly line just in time for assembly. Like a lot of automobile manufacturing
That's
is JIT,
Yep.
JIT, just in time. So Fester is applying the just-in-time manufacturing process
Yeah.
to the arrival here on the MJ Morning Show.
It's a factory of fun.
The weather event, this rain was kind of a non-issue. We're supposed to have remnants of Sarah, and it looked like my driveway had a little bitty puddle in it. I mean, I think we had some rain overnight. Remember Sarah, which luckily did not, hook our way and, hit us with a tropical storm or a potential hurricane, fell apart over Central America. and we're getting the remnants. Then we got this cold front, but weather-wise, really kind of a non-issue. I'm looking at the radar now, and it looks like there's still some gook coming in, but it looks like it's like from Sarasota south.
Yeah, on my phone app, it shows 50% chance through about 10 or 11 a.m. around here.
Right. And then, Fester, there was something that we mentioned yesterday, and I forgot to circle back around. So
Was it the lame thing?
Yeah. Because I had a couple of people say, "Hey, MJ, you started the show yesterday saying Fester lame," and I never went back to it. I had it scrolled and jotted down here to go back to, and I never did yesterday. So I apologize. So if you were listening to yesterday's MJ Morning Show around this time, and I was kind of obnoxiously saying, Fester, lame, let's just explain what it is. Fester sends me a text. Hey, man, this is what? Today's Wednesday, so this would have been Monday.
Yeah, it was Monday afternoon.
Monday afternoon, and that's why I brought this up first thing yesterday morning, and then I neglected to go back to it and pay it off. So Fester sends me this text on Monday afternoon, and it's like, "Hey, dude, you ever been to the Container Store?"
Have you ever been to the Container Store? Are they an advertiser?
I don't think so.
Okay, the Container Store is the dumbest store I've ever been to. I had like time to kill. I had an hour and 15 minutes to kill.
Wait a sec. Why do you have an hour and 15 minutes to kill at like West Shore and Boy Scout? Also, I confuse on opposite corners. There are two different stores that kind of do the same thing. So you've got, well, maybe you know what? I consider them the same. So you've got, is it Crate and Barrel?
Crate and Barrel is more, I think, more home decor.
All right, okay,
Yeah.
So, all right, so they are different. I just, for whatever reason, to me, they sound the same.
I mean, Container and Crate
right.
sound like it's a store by
All right,
itself.
so let me get this straight. Crate and Barrel, that's the one next to Ocean Prime?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, that's right at the front of International Plaza.
Yeah, there's a lot of decor in there, plates.
And then
kitchen
Caddy
stuff.
Corner across Boy Scout or Spruce or whatever you call that, changes right there. And West Shore, in that other shopping center, you have the Container Store.
Yes.
All right. Now, I've never been in the Container Store, but I have been like right in front of it because Chloe likes, there's a Mexican place.
Loli's. Or
Yeah,
Lulu's.
Lolly.
I saw it
Lolly,
there.
lolly. Get your adverbs here. So I think it's Loli's or whatever. So, they've got locations around the Tampa Bay area, and Chloe likes their food. So I've driven her up there a couple of times to, take a pickup order away. And so the Container Store is right there. But no, I've never been in the Container Store. All right. So we've got a lame situation. And we'll explain it next. So here's the deal. Fester, this doesn't qualify. I mean, I can't believe you'd waste my time. And I still want to know, why did you have an hour and a half to kill at West Shore and Boy Scout?
I'll let you know.
All right. So hold on. Fester sends me an image of something that happened apparently at the Container Store. And it is so lame. I mean, why you even waste my time by even suggesting that this was one of these quote unquote events? All right, hold on. I promise the first thing we do is explain Fester's lame-o attempt when we get back next here on the MJ Morning Show on Q105. As we is getting rolling here on a Wednesday. Traffic's on with Shriner. We're back in a sec. Hold on. No.
Yeah, it was just company business.
What was
Company
the
biz.
What was the company biz?
Talking about new software
Yeah,
that
it's
they're
not-
putting in.
Yeah, it's not good like company gossip.
Yeah, it's not gossip. No,
company
it's
business.
I
yeah.
thought it was some good internal,
Yeah.
gossip
No.
or something.
Big
Okay,
difference.
all right, fine. All right, so if you don't know about the state-of-the-art garage door opener we're giving away, that's what you heard me right, folks. If you don't know about this and your chance to win this, hey, you've come to expect the unconventional at times, and I'll tell you what, people are loving this. I printed out all of the entries from Monday and Tuesday last night.
Mm-hmm.
And already kind of going through them. I've got Michelle also going through them, and we're kind of putting stuff in piles. Holy crap, do we have a lot of entries for the garage door opener? This is like $1,000 prize. All right, hold on, I'll give you the deets in just a second. First, though, let's deal with Fester's little lame-o attempt. So Monday, and again, my apologies for those that were listening early yesterday or listening to the podcast, and I did not go back to this after teasing this at the opening of yesterday's show. Fester sends me a text on Monday afternoon, and it was, hey, you ever been to the Container Store and Boy Scout and West Shore? And I texted, nope. And then Fester texts me a picture. Dude, that wasn't even close to a hit the gas instead of the brake. Why would you even...
I mean, it has to be somewhere under the cloud.
No, all right. So Fester sends me a picture of a broken window
And
in front of the Container Store.
well, if you look at the window, you can see where the bumper went through and it hit the side of the building.
Dude. It is not a hit the gas instead of the brake, all right?
Hit the gas instead of the brake. Another old fart makes a big mistake.
Unless the car is inside. So this is what I sent back to Fester. Fester, and I'll hold this up to MJTV. So Fester sends me, this is Monday afternoon at 15:58. So 3:58 in the afternoon. Have you ever been to the Container Store on the corner of West Shore and Boy Scout?
I didn't say it with
And-
that tone. You make it sound like I was excited to be there.
Listen, I'm reading it verbatim.
it
How
was
I want to interpret your tone is my way to interpret
My
it.
tone was more like, have you ever been to the Container Store?
All right. So I write back, no. And then Fester follows up with this picture, which I'm now going to share on MJTV. So I'm holding this up right now on MJTV.
This is really unnecessary, you know.
And I mean, there's a little bottom window panel that's apparently broken, and they got some plastic sheeting on it.
Is it possible that that was storm related and not hit the gas instead of the brakes related?
No.
So Fester sends me the picture, and then he writes underneath the picture, hit the gas instead of the brake. So I respond back, lame. The whole car needs to be inside the store for maximum points. All right? And then Fester writes back, agreed.
You know what?
Were you that bored? Why were you hanging around the corner of West Shore and Boy Scout for an hour and a half on Monday afternoon that you sent me this text of this half-assed lame-o hit the gas instead of the brakes?
Look, I had some time to kill.
Why?
I was waiting for a guy.
You were waiting
Can't
for
you
a-
just be like a normal person and sit in your car and stare at your phone?
Well, I had this time to kill. We
wait. Why are you waiting for a guy?
had to fence some merchandise.
All right, what?
I had to fence some merchandise.
All right.
No, I'm kidding.
What the hell?
My kid had a doctor's appointment across the street. So it's a therapy appointment. So the therapist takes him back, and I have an hour and a half to kill.
Where? What's across the street? There's at
It's
the
like down the
at the
road.
mall?
No, Tampa General has therapy places on West Shore Boulevard.
Oh, okay, near like AAA and everything in there.
In the Arizona College building. So like the first two floors are Arizona College, and the bottom floor is TGH.
All right. So
Anyway, he had a doctor's appointment
Gotcha.
there, standing
All right.
appointment every Monday or so, about 3:00. So I'm there, and I'm like, all right, see you at 4:30. And I'm like, what am I going to do? And usually I go to the cigar bar on Boy Scout, which is fantastic. I was like, you know what? I'm not going to stink today and smell like crap for the rest of the afternoon. I'm not going to the cigar bar. Where have I never been?
to the Container Store.
Never have been to the Container
So you're
Store.
like,
Never have been. It is such a waste of space. Have you ever walked in a store and the first thing you say is, how the hell does this place stay open?
You mean for the sales per square footage ratio?
It was a big store.
Yeah.
And everything you look at,
Right.
instantly you could think of a store that does it better.
And it's like cheap crap that takes up a lot of space.
I mean, some of the stuff was, I guess, home storage stuff. It was a lot of containers.
Bins.
Gift wrap stuff. They
Yeah.
sell a lot of gift wrapping.
What do you mean gift wrapping?
Yeah, like boxes and things to put your gifts to contain.
Yeah.
If you can contain it, they sell
It's
it.
called the Container Store.
Exactly.
No crap. So it's a lot of plastic bins with lids.
You gotta go.
Oh, right.
You should go.
No. Oh, yeah. You're making it really sound like I got to go to the
No.
Container Store.
You don't gotta go because it's amazing. You gotta go just to
You got to see it. You got to go. All right.
Florida's largest container store. And I'm like, what the? I even asked the guy, I go, what the hell do you guys do here? And he's like, we sell containers. He was nice enough, but
Let me tell you right now.
then I walk out of the container store
Yeah.
and I see this and I'm like, oh. Now, mind you, I've been there for
No.
like 12 minutes. I
Yeah.
am thoroughly unentertained. So I see this and I am entertained. And the first person I think of is you.
All right.
And this is what I get. I
You
get
know who
ridiculed.
loves containers, but I don't think my wife has ever been in the Container Store either. Michelle loves containers. Michelle loves plastic bins, and she is like ultra specific. There's like one brand of plastic bins that she likes, and like inside they've got like paper that says like how many liter, like 32 liter.
Yeah.
And I believe they're American made, so that's another thing she likes. But there's this plastic bin that I think she ultimately gets at like Staples or Office Depot or something. But there's one brand of bin that Michelle has like all of our family pictures in. And man, Michelle loves bins, but I don't think she's been to the Container Store. All right, but anyway, Fester.
Actually, look at this great deal you can get on the gift wrapping rack.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
How much is it?
It's a gift wrap trolley station.
Yes, I mean, that's the kind of
What's
crap
not to
this-
like?
I mean, it just was a lot of containers.
Yeah,
And I'm like,
that's what I need. I do so much gift wrapping. I need a gift wrapping trolley
Seriously, I
on
need one of those.
wheels and with drawers
That would make my life better
and
if I had one.
side holders for all the rolls of gift wrap. Who the hell gift wraps that much that you need a gift wrap trolley?
look at their website. The
Oh
picture,
my God.
The picture of the nice family. Look at
The
all the
hell?
containers they have in their kitchen here.
I
1,
see
2,
that.
3, 4, 5,
Containers
6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Are for crafty people.
Oh man, but so many containers. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Is
You ever
this-
see those people with the pantries where like nothing is in the original box?
They take everything out.
Everything's
Yes.
been taken out and put in a container with a
yeah.
label on it.
Those people shop
Yeah.
here.
I've got some relatives like that. It's like you just want to punch them in the face. All right, 6:30 at the MJ Morning Show here on Q105. Oh, there's a Diddy story that broke yesterday. There is are you going?
Because Doug told me something last night,
Oh, yeah,
and it was
what-
like, whoa,
yeah,
what was that?
what-
Shoot.
Well, try to remember. Let's see if it's what I'm kind of going. Wow. Over.
Yeah. Oh,
What?
yes, I remember.
Okay. What?
It was, he told me that somebody came out who said that Diddy rented a house from him or something, and the things that they made him do, and like what they found after he got out of the house. Is that it?
That's one story. There's one even
Okay.
better than that. So,
Whoa.
You're thinking of this headline: Sean Diddy Combs' wild party aftermath exposed. Bloodstained sheets, lubricant condoms, cocaine, and razors.
There you go.
Okay,
That's it.
That's the one Doug's talking about.
Mhm.
There's a whole other Diddy story. Oh, geez, what now?
I think I got it.
What?
Does it have to do with the bird?
Nope,
Okay.
doesn't have to do with the bird.
I got one for you then that you
no,
might not know about.
No, I have that one
you
too.
know about the bird.
I've,
Okay.
I've got that too. But there's another Diddy story we got to get to. It involves a lawsuit and extortion claims, and there's a giant mystery.
Mm.
So we'll get to that coming up. This will be in the 7 o'clock hour. Our pile of Diddy debauchery here on a Wednesday on the MJ Morning Show here on Q105. All right, the garage. 6:43 at the MJ Morning Show. Early morons of the news are on, and man, this is hysterical. So Julian, you get the link I sent you? You got it? Yep. All right. So Julian, my son, sends me this Instagram link, and it's from the Villages. Oh, my God. This is hysterical. I guess up in the Villages, they have something called the Flying Golf Cart Parade. Have you heard about this?
I'm sure every community has that has golf carts like this.
What?
Oh, my God.
Oh, my gosh.
All right. So they're watching it. Let me explain. Oh, my God.
Do some commentation.
Now, it's kind of, do some what?
Commentate this event that's happening that Fester and I are like,
All right. So I had another item that was in my pile, and this kind of just, kind of goes together. So from up in... Florida's friendliest hometown. Exactly. Riddled with STDs as well. So it's
you don't care at that age.
I don't have much longer anyway. Who cares if I'm all riddled up with STDs? All right. So I don't even know if that's true or false. That's just been like an urban legend for a while. The whole colored loofah thing, that's not true either.
Are you sure?
Yeah, the whole colored loofah.
How do you know?
Because we debunked that story years ago on this show. That it's just people put those on their car antennas if they have them to identify their car in a parking lot is what it is. All right, so up in the Villages, the Flying Golf Cart Parade, where they're like, imagine the Blue Angels of golf cart drivers.
That's a really good description of it, yeah.
So they do these like maneuvers, and they're like stunt golf cart drivers. So
I don't know that they're stunt golf cart drivers. They're old men in golf carts.
But they're doing maneuvers like they'll drive at each other, like they're playing.
Juke each other out.
But it's like they're playing a game of chicken.
Yeah. And
they'll swerve at the last minute, and they'll do maneuvers and S-curves and turns, and it's, I guess, the Flying Golf Cart Parade. Julian sends me this clip. Flying Golf Cart Parade gone wrong. You've got a yellow golf cart in the middle of the road, and a blue golf cart is going right at it and then swerves to the left at the last minute. Then there's a red golf cart going right toward, head on, the yellow golf cart, and I would imagine he's supposed to go to the right. Well, didn't quite work that way. Head-on collision. The guy in the red golf cart gets flung through his windshield into the front of the yellow oncoming golf cart. And then he's like on the ground. Then he gets up and he's limping. And all right, Fester, go ahead and roll. This is insane. And then
all right.
So is it going to reset here?
Refresh.
All right, go ahead, play the audio and listen. All right, that's the near miss. That's the blue one. Here comes the red one. Oh my God!
Listen to the music.
Then, you know what that is? That's
Ride of the Valkyries.
It's Ride of the Valkyries, exactly. Da, 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 da. I mean, do you hear the crash? There's the blue one and swerves around the yellow to the left. Now here comes red. Oh, the guy gets hurled out of the front of the golf cart into the front windshield of the yellow golf cart and gets flung on the ground.
That's a head-on golf cart collision.
Yes, it is.
Yes, that's exactly what it is.
Yes, excellent observation there, Roxanne.
Well,
Good
just
commentation.
You know what? You ought to be an accident investigator for the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office.
I'm just trying to summarize what we're seeing.
Yes.
That's what it is.
Holy crap.
I have to check Accident Inspector Roxanne's report here.
Hey, Andrew,
Yes.
did you put the link up on As
Head-on
Heard?
collision.
First line.
Andrew?
Andrew.
Yep. All right. So Andrew put this up. If you want to see this, this is hysterical. If you go to mjmorningshow.com, that's mjmorningshow.com, you click on As Heard on the MJ Morning Show. So go to our website, then right near the top, it'll be As Heard on the MJ Morning Show. Click on that, and then the top item should be a link to this Instagram reel. And you don't need to be on Instagram. You can just bring it up on your computer or whatever. So you don't have to have an Instagram account, although, you know, most of our listeners probably do. So click on the link and just take a look at this. I mean, just sheer absolute idiocy. And then speaking of golf carts and... The Villages, Yeah, here's another golf cart DUI story. I think they have the highest rate of golf cart DUIs in the nation.
I think per capita, they
the
have
villages.
one of the highest golf cart ownership rates.
Listen to this. Villager serving 60 days in jail for drunk golf cart operation. You know, people don't realize this. You can get a DUI on a bike. You can get a DUI on a riding mower. You can get a DUI on a horse.
On a skateboard?
You know what? Possible. Or a scooter, maybe.
If you can stand on it, yes, Roxanne.
Yes.
Janine Renee Rapka, 46, lives in the village of Santo Domingo. She's kind of young, 46, to be up in the villages.
Probably marry some geezer.
She was sentenced early this month as the result of her driving under the influence arrest on July 11th after her golf cart strayed on El Camino Real. Yeah, she was sentenced to 60 days in jail. She got credit for the 60 days already served. That's unbelievable. Also, she's on probation for a year, ordered to perform 50 hours of community service. On the night the New Jersey native was arrested, she was spotted on El Camino Real, where golf cart traffic is not permitted. Anyway, she was pulled over. This is another reason why I'm doing this story. This is insane. She struggled through the field sobriety exercises, provided breath samples. Do you know why she struggled through the field sobriety exercises?
Why?
Her two blows registered a .318 and a .325. That is ass blast drunk off your rectum. Oh,
That's
my
near death.
God. A .318? What the hell do you have to consume to get to a .318 and a .325?
A lot.
Oh, my God. You've got folks that are, .13s that are driving like maniacs, or they're all over the place. A .3 and change? Oh, my God. That is insanity.
Lunacy.
And because of her severe level of intoxication, the cops thought that she was in jeopardy of dying. So they rushed her to the UF Health Freestanding Emergency Room Clinic. Up in Florida's .318 hometown. That is just absolute insanity. And I guess we'll just make this a Villages Florida Morons in the News story. And I love this. That Villages News newspaper. So they've got the Villages News, and it's always good for, a couple of great stories a month in this thing. And I'll tell you what I've noticed. They have a whole feature in there where they bust people for bad parking jobs.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Wow.
they do news stories on people that park badly in the villages, whether it's at a shopping center or whatever. And they publish pictures. They encourage people, seriously, they encourage people to take pictures and send them in, and they publish them in the Villages News of people with bad parking etiquette.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, my God. This is hysterical. And they've got it's a whole feature. It's they call it the parking patrol. Is that the most Karen thing you've ever heard?
Yeah, it really is.
It's the parking patrol.
Parking patrol.
No.
And they'll have pictures of like a handicap spot where you have the buffer areas on either side,
Right.
so people can get out. They have extra space and people will try to sneak in and park a car or jam a golf cart in
Oh, yeah.
on the buffer zone. Anyway, this is the big news reporting up in the Villages. Bad parking jobs, which I thought was just absolutely hysterical. All right, 6:52 at the MJ Morning Show. You know what? I have two additional morons that I want to get to. I've got a child potato chip laundromat imprisonment story.
Whoa.
I put that together, folks.
That's like a Mad Lib.
Yeah, I got to. This is absolutely right. And then we have another local guy busted for a Yeah, hidden camera in the bathroom.
Oh, ick.
Yeah, I know that's total ick. That's
So many
that's
creeps.
capital I, capital C, capital K. How many exclamation points after that?
You need at least 3.
Yeah, plus 3 exclamation
Mm-hmm.
point. Total ick. All right, so hold on. I'll get to those next. 7 o'clock hour starts in minutes, so don't move. But you got to hear the laundromat, the chips, and the imprisonment, and little kid involved. Hey, you got to hear this. This is insane. And that'll be next on the MJ Morning Show. Ago described it as like a game of Mad Libs because I said laundromat, little kid, bag of chips, imprisonment.
The last word threw me.
Kind of like one of these things doesn't go together.
Yeah,
Oh, like and chips and laundromat does.
Yeah.
All right.
Throw a bag in the washing machine.
Oh man. All right. Moms, dads. Here's a tip on not getting arrested for child endangerment. 6-year-old found locked inside a laundromat dryer was found crying and shaking by law enforcement in Texas. Placed there by 3 adults as punishment. Why? Lost a bag of chips. Well, there you go. That explains it all, doesn't it?
I mean, it depends on what kind of chips.
So there were people. There were people inside the laundromat. They're watching this. They're horrified. They're stunned.
Gosh. Yeah.
The adults grab the 6-year-old and throw the 6-year-old inside the dryer at the laundromat because of a lost bag of chips. So you've got other folks. You ever kind of hang out at a laundromat? It's a very interesting clientele.
When was the last time you spent any amount of time at any laundromat?
College years.
So it's been a couple minutes.
It's been a couple of minutes. Yeah. So horrified other laundromat customers called 911 after they saw the boy locked in the dryer for more than 5 minutes at the high-tech washateria. It's not a low-tech washateria.
No.
It's a high-tech. Because, when I think laundromats, I want high-tech.
Listen,
I want the NVIDIA of laundromats. That's
these
that's
laundromats, these machines are more like robots now.
Yeah,
than
they are.
For some of these ones, you go to old dilapidated.
What the hell are
ones.
you talking about? It's a freaking machine. You put some quarters in it and you push the button. What do you? Come on. You might have older machines and newer machines,
You
but
should go. The newer machines are totally different.
and when was the last time you were at a laundromat?
It's been a minute.
Okay, thank you. I should go. You're a laundromat expert over here.
Let's go together.
Yeah, okay, let's do that.
I got a laundry question for you.
Yeah.
When you go to a laundromat,
So, Fester
Oh, last time I was at a laundromat, I
was
was
with-
stuffing Shorty
with
Shane.
Shorty Shane,
Yeah,
you were,
yeah,
you were
that's
stuffing him
right.
in the dryer at the laundromat right down here on 4th Street.
well, we're not allowed to go there anymore,
And
are
then,
you?
well, no, though, that trespass notice, that expired.
It expired? Oh, you
Oh.
can go back?
Oh yeah, it was only a
good.
1 year.
Where's
Okay.
that? Where's that freaking video that was like commandeered? Does Buck still have that?
I don't know.
What a disaster that was. Anyway, you got a boy, you got 3 adults, and apparently the boy lost a bag of potato chips. So the adults threw him in the laundromat's dryer.
Was it like Lay's original, or was it like the thick ridges one? where you can
Listen.
really get a
I don't
scoop of
have
dip?
the type of chip it was.
I gotta tell you, man, I'm a cheddar sour cream flavored
All right,
chip
thank
guy.
you very much. All right, so as punishment, they threw the kid in the dryer. Refused to let the kid out until the snack was found. What?
How's he gonna find it inside the dryer?
The boy was visibly shaking and crying when police arrived
Oh,
and
so-
rescued him. Checked out by a medical team, then released to a guardian. They tried to arrest the 3 adults, and like 2 of them ran away. There was a foot chase. Oh my God, what a mess! So then one of the individuals, Haven Duncan, was handcuffed, and then they found a loaded gun tucked in his waistband.
Oh, my gosh.
I'm like, this story is nuts. Anyway, he remains in jail with a $10,000 bond. What a nutty story. All over a bag of lost chips, for crying out loud. And then we have another hidden camera story. We've had 2 like sicko hidden camera stories in the Tampa Bay area in just a couple of days here. Remember, we had the former St. Pete City Councilman. What was it? Right, St. Pete City Councilman.
Yes.
It wasn't county commission. It was St. Pete
was
City
a-
Councilman, right?
Yeah, I believe. Yes,
Yeah.
I think that's right.
So he had run for re-election. He lost back in, I think, 2021. And he had a number of cameras up in a ceiling vent that a woman discovered at his house. And that guy's in a crap load of trouble. All right, so what was this guy's name?
Jeffrey Danner.
That's right. Oh, yeah, we were calling him
We
Jeffrey.
just talked about him.
We were calling him Jeffrey Dahmer
Yeah.
earlier this week. Yeah. Former St. Pete City Council member Jeffrey Danner was busted for hidden cameras up in a bathroom vent. Woman's taking a shower and like, well, what's that?
I found one of his old
Yeah.
campaign signs and it says "Keep an eye on crime."
Yeah,
he
okay.
meant it.
Yeah. Keep an eye on gets to my house going to the bathroom and taking showers.
Keep an eye on.
That's
you
what the
and
campaign
body.
sign ought to say. No, but then remember his excuse? He said, "Oh yeah, I put the cameras up in the ceiling, but I decided not to hook them up because I realized how sick it was." What? Hello?
Not during the installation process. He still thought it was a great idea then.
Oh, it was a brilliant move. Anyway,
Speaking of commission, I know, so you have a new one, right?
yeah, this is Ruskin.
Okay, this is Ruskin.
Yeah, this does not involve a city government employee, though. Wow. So earlier this week, it was the first court appearance for a guy that faces 63 counts of digital voyeurism. What does that mean? Pervert with a hidden camera trying to catch you in the bathroom.
Yeah.
That's what, let me translate that into everyday people speak. As according to the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office, the investigation showed that Eliseo Aguilar Jr. Apparently, back in August, the investigation from HCSO began. A 10-year-old girl told an adult that Aguilar was touching her in an inappropriate fashion,
All
right? All right. So that was the way things,
All right.
initiated.
Ugh.
So the victim's mom filed an injunction, like a restraining order to keep him away from the girl. Anyway, during the investigation, they discovered that he'd been recording the 10-year-old girl and her mother and the grandmother in the bathroom.
This guy's
my
Okay.
God.
terrible
It's just
person.
disgusting.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Multi-generational perversion.
Absolutely disgusting.
What do we got next?
All right, 7:09 at the MJ Morning Show. Andrew says I got to grab line one. It's Debbie. All right, Debbie in St. Pete. Hi, Debbie. Welcome to the MJ
Hi.
Morning Show. Thanks for phoning in. What's up?
Hi. I was just calling about your camera situation. Like I told you, it's out
Oh,
of
hold
control.
on. It's not my camera. I don't have any hidden cameras in my bathrooms.
You would be surprised. You would be just so surprised at people that have cameras. We have a neighbor, and he has a camera. And when he put that camera up, he put a sign on the back of his barn, and it faces to our backyard. There's no street view or nothing. He said, you were warned. He's videoing us, and we have pictures that they took, and they submit it to the police. Well, the police are like, well, why are you filming their bedroom windows? And
All right, hold on. So I need more information here. So this is a neighbor that
Yes.
he put cameras up at his place, and they're aimed at your bedroom windows?
yes, 2 bedroom windows, 2 separate bedrooms. My daughter's bedroom window, she hasn't dressed in her bedroom for a year.
Whoa. How old's your daughter?
My daughter is 38.
All right. I thought you were going to say like 12, but
And
all right.
you don't have anything like.
Well, I have a granddaughter that's 12.
Okay, well, look at that. I'm a psychic. I got to get a job at the fair guessing weight and age. All right. So, all right. So,
Well, the thing is,
yeah.
the thing is, even with the restraining order, because I bitch so much about the camera and I tell him he's a pervert, well, his girlfriend went down and tried to get a restraining order against me. And you know what? I went to court and I told the judge, I said, you know what? If the little girl needs it, give it to her. She goes, well, I'm not putting any restrictions on you. And the whole thing is out of control. Neighbors can film neighbors. You have no privacy. These cameras they need to go. I'm to the point where I want to take a BB gun and shoot it because it's not picking up anything but us.
all right. So, wait a minute. What is he getting by having? Are you sure they're not like just aimed at his backyard?
Yeah.
They are deliberately
No,
aimed at.
No, because the pictures from the restraining order that she tried to use, it shows me up against my house in my driveway. My car's, there's a fence between us, and she's trying to say I'm up to her bedroom window. There's a big old privacy fence there, but the camera's right over the privacy fence.
All right. So, why do you think that the neighbor is having cameras aimed at your bedroom windows?
He's a pervert.
Okay.
But what can he see?
I need more than he's a pervert.
I don't know, but apparently, from the pictures that we have, it's basically pointing right into both of the bedroom windows.
All right. So,
What county is this in?
it's Pinellas County.
Pinellas.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Pinellas County, and
Well, you live in St. Pete, right?
yes.
And have you called the police?
Oh yeah, we've called the police.
All right. So, what do they say when they show up and you say that we?
against them?
What do they say?
They say that the camera is legal because he says it's street view.
Well,
And-
that might be a good argument, though.
But it's not street view. The pictures, their own pictures that they use. It's not street view. They know it's not street view. The police know it's not street
And you
view.
have no relationship with this
their
neighbor
hands
to
are tied
hold on.
with this.
Hold on. You have no relationship with this neighbor to say, hey, I understand you want cameras. Point them down a little bit so you don't get my kid's bedroom.
Or what previous history did you have with this neighbor that he's aiming
Oh,
cameras at
no.
your window?
We had a pretty good when he moved in there. We had a really good relationship.
All right, so what happened? What went south?
His girlfriend moved in, and then all hell broke loose.
Why did all hell break loose when the girlfriend moved in? What happened?
Because she doesn't like our driveway exactly where it's at.
Yeah, you know what? Your driveway,
Move your driveway. I
gotta
don't
tell
like
you.
it.
Yeah,
Debbie, your driveway's been pissing me off too now that you mention it.
All right. This sounds
my
like.
driveway faces a main.
Listen, it sounds like there's a lot more at play here than we're going to be able to figure out in a couple of
All
minutes on
right,
the phone.
Debbie.
Listen, Debbie, I wish you the best of luck.
Well, anyone else has a situation, I'd like to hear about it.
Yeah, I don't have answers for you, Deb.
All right. Have a good luck. Thanks for calling.
Move your driveway. How about that?
Get your damn driveway out of there. I hate it.
Scoot it over.
I hate your driveway. I don't like that position at all.
4 feet over. That'd make me much happier.
I don't like that driveway.
All right.
All right, couple of food items here. Oh, look at Fester just perked right up. Is this really a thing? Generation Z is drying yogurt. Have you heard about this?
What?
They're
Drying it?
they're taking yogurt and like flattening it out, and then like drying it
To make a powder?
like
This is
no
weird.
like a fruit roll up yogurt strip. But doesn't it spoil?
Wait, how are they dry? Define dry. Like you said, dry with a paper towel.
So
Okay, you know when you open a yogurt container and it has that layer of like watery stuff on top?
it's dried out yogurt.
You lay it flat.
Yeah.
You lay it
Yeah,
out flat
right?
like on wax paper.
Yeah.
And for whatever reason, this is some kind of a nutso Generation Z, a Gen Z trend, and it's all over social media.
It would
Yeah.
dehydrate before
Yeah.
it spoils.
Andrew wants to know, is it like yogurt jerky? Maybe you can call it. Listen,
Is fruit roll-up fruit jerky? So, yeah, I mean, I can see that. It would dehydrate before it would spoil.
dried yogurt,
The drying would actually probably preserve it.
and there are hundreds, if not thousands, of videos out there of Generation Z making dried yogurt. So this, whatever craze is, you take some yogurt, you wrap it up in paper towel, then you put something heavy on it, and then press out the moisture. Some are doing it on wax paper and then paper towel on top. And then you press it and you push the moisture, the water content out, and then you dry it.
Okay.
Dried out yogurt strips. Have you ever? I saw this for the first time like a couple of days ago. I'm like, I never heard of this.
So I typed in drying yogurt into the Google,
Right.
and a bunch of sites about people who backpack or people who go off the trail and you want to carry
Oh.
yogurt with you. How to dehydrate yogurt for hiking and backpacking. I haven't seen any how to make drying yogurt with a paper towel. Yeah.
Some people they're drying it out.
Look, here she is.
Yeah, it's just you paper towel, you dry it out, and then like some people are like leaving it out. Other people are putting it in the refrigerator. But those that put it in the fridge say, "Oh, it's not drying out enough." And I'm like, "What the?"
Okay, I'm not signing up for this because I don't want to get like bacteria if it sits out for too long or something, right?
No, I mean it's
I mean-
dehydrating. You let the things sometimes get sat out. Here she is. She's just wrapping it in a,
Yeah, and
putting
then
it
they-
between two
In
bowls.
paper towels.
Then they press it to like press all the moisture out. Anyway, don't eat the yogurt.
Oh,
Why?
Why?
It's spoiled. I don't listen.
It would dehydrate.
Yeah.
I mean, to spoil it needs to sit in moisture.
Dude, even if you
But it is moist by definition.
it's still gonna potentially spoil.
Yeah.
All right, so some are putting it in the fridge, some are not. Listen, I don't get this. The Gen Z craze is yogurt drying for some insane reason, which I don't understand. All right, 7:17 at the MJ Morning Show. Yes, Roxanne, you've been champing at the bit to
Yeah.
get something in here.
Yes,
What is it?
I have. Just because you said earlier when we were talking about the creepy guy with the set up the cameras, you said commissioner. I was like, we keep forgetting to get to the important Ray's story. Are we going to get to that today?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, no,
I'm just trying to keep you on task with that.
Well, we've mentioned
We've mentioned
the Rays all week long,
Yeah.
and the bond vote, the stadium deal. The Rays are like threatening that now they're going to leave town, that the deal is dead,
Mm-hmm.
and a 3-week delay has ruined everything. You sons of bitch! All right, so yeah,
Deals off.
all right.
That's it.
Deals
Well,
off.
essentially, that's what the
Your
Rays.
fault.
That's what they're saying. All right, so there is more because you had the county commission meeting yesterday.
Right.
So there is more to the whole Rays deal, and the Rays are like threatening to leave now.
Mhm.
It's like you've spoiled it. All right, so yes, we will get into the Rays. Hey, we start an hour and 20 minutes of nonstop MJ next. There is a kind of an earth-shattering, a really interesting P. Diddy story which broke yesterday. There are several, but there's one specific story which, man, I want to know who this is. So there's a really interesting P. Diddy item. We'll get to that coming up in just a bit. We've got an hour and 20 minutes of nonstop content. So listen, I can't go over everything that's coming up, but trust me, it's a lot. You're going to like it, and you're going to be entertained. And no one does what we do every morning at 7:25-ish. And that's an hour and 20 minutes of nonstop MJ. And it is next. So don't move here on the MJ Morning Show. Let me tell you. Here we go. 1 hour, 20 minutes of nonstop MJ. And if you think you only get an hour and 20 minutes, you'd be sadly mistaken. You always get more. You know what that's called? That's called under-promising and over-delivering daily here on the MJ Morning Show. And it is highly appreciated if you spread the word and you tell everyone you know about the MJ Morning Show. You know, I still run into people like, MJ, hey, how you doing? Oh, I miss your show. I'm like, did you know we're back every morning on 104.7 FM? No, I didn't know that. And I'm like, yeah, every morning. I mean, still, a lot of people don't know we're back. And you can help us spread the word by letting everyone you know that the MJ Morning Show's back 6 to 10 every morning right here on Q105, which is 104.7 FM. Yeah, always tell them 104.7 FM so they know exactly where to go. I have a sound, and people are scared to death of this sound. And apparently it creeps people out. People think it's like bad luck. And there is an actual sound, and this goes back to the ancient Aztecs. And I'm just kind of debating. It's a really fascinating story. And we have like 3 examples of this sound. And I'm wondering if it's too creepy, too scary, if there are people that are too superstitious, and if people are going to get all kind of creeped out on this, and whether I should do it.
I mean, I don't want to play it if people are going to like drive off the road or anything.
Well, you ever hear of the Aztec death whistle?
No.
No.
You're intrigued, aren't you?
Yeah, I've
Yeah.
never heard a word of this.
Oh, yeah, this goes back to the ancient Aztecs. I mean, this goes way back.
Oh, I've heard of a death rattle.
Oh,
Is it in that same category?
Death rattle. It's, I think of similar ilk. So this goes back to like 1250 and between 1250 and 1521, ancient Aztec civilization and the death whistle. You know what? I might need to put this up for debate with the audience to see if it would be detrimental, bad luck, or if it's just too damn creepy to play the Aztec death whistle and tell the story. All right, so hold on. We'll debate this and consider this during this segment here on the MJ Morning Show. Can I ask you a question, Roxanne?
Yeah.
You sent me a note last night with a link to this story, and you said, all right, this is kind of an older story, but
Mm-hmm.
it is coming up, and
Yeah.
you thought maybe we should discuss it. I'm just trying to wonder if, are you channeling anything here? Are you forecasting? Is there anything in your future?
What the hell are you talking about? No.
So you.
Why would I send you something? That's a mean thing to say,
Well,
MJ.
what's
That's
the
very
story?
mean.
What's the story?
It's about people getting divorced.
Why would you send me the story?
Yeah,
I'm
why would I be channeling something in my future?
I don't
That's
know.
rude.
Oh my!
Are you maybe? I mean, that's just rude.
Hold on. What's the story and what was your intention when you sent it? What did you mean to say?
The story was
You sent me a story about January divorces, and we're rounding the corner at the end of the year, and you sent me this item. Hey, heads up!
a news story came across
Right.
my feed or whatever, and it was like had something to do with divorce season.
Yeah,
But it was like an
January's-
obscure story that I wasn't going to send you that story.
I didn't.
So
bring,
then-
I didn't bring this up. You sent it to me.
Yeah, but
So-
now you just asked me if I sent it to you because I'm channeling something in
Well,
my own life.
I don't
That's
know.
weird.
Hold
So,
on.
but here's why I sent it to you.
Out of the blue, you send me a story on, hey, MJ, heads up, January divorce season's coming up, and I'm just asking, why is that weird?
All right, listen.
The way that you just said it
Hold
is
on.
just like, oh, this is what I said. Read it verbatim. Old article, but interesting. January is divorce season. Friendly reminder for people to try to get along during the holiday season so you don't end up getting divorced.
All
Ha
right,
ha ha.
all right, calm down.
You know,
Don't get all
No,
butthurt on this.
listen,
Did you put the
I'm not,
ha, ha,
I'm
ha?
calm. I'm calm. This is not a me putting you in your place is not. You need to calm
Hold on.
down, young lady.
We do a
No.
funny, irreverent
Yes,
morning show. It's a
yes.
calm down. If you can't hang, let me know.
You having a reaction to a question, which is just a question.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
just.
You manifesting that.
Are something going on in your house? No,
so-
it's not.
So you could have said no, it's not, instead of manifesting it into something that's really
I think
awkward.
that both of you guys, if I come at you with something, you stand your
Oh
ground.
my God! I wish my old lady would leave me in January, and she's listening right now.
I don't get bent out of shape and have a near meltdown.
Define what I just did that is near meltdown or bent out of shape. Please
well,
define that. Please point exactly where I almost had a near meltdown.
All right.
Roll the audio
Please-
back a minute and a
let's play
half.
let's play it back. Andrew, play the whole thing back and please tell me where I had a near meltdown.
All right.
I said, what the hell are you talking
You're
about?
like,
Got
that's
the whole story.
rude.
That's
All right,
exactly
you know
how
what?
you
All right.
Okay,
you know,
continue.
You know what?
No, don't scrap it.
Rip it out.
It's
Running the whole
MJ,
freaking story.
The way that I just spoke to you is exactly how you speak to me, Fester, and the audience 24/7. You get what you give.
Do you need to take a personal day?
What
Jesus.
are you talking about?
I'm joking.
What are you talking about?
I'm freaking joking, and you're having a GD meltdown over here. My
Nobody has
God.
had a meltdown.
You sent me a
right.
story about January divorces. Heads up, 'tis the season. Be on the
Something
lookout.
happening in your household.
and he would
And
say,
I said, it's as ridiculous as you came at me, I came back at you with you're being ridiculous.
No,
Okay.
I did it kind of jokingly, and you kind of came at me. I don't know.
anyway. So
Oh,
listen,
screw it. I'm moving on, man.
Move on.
you know what? January,
You
maybe.
you sent it
Hey,
to me.
I'll tell
I
you right now,
did.
January, it's going to be divorce season here at the morning show.
Yeah, I think
Oh, my
so.
You watch.
God.
I think so.
I mean, holy hell! I'm
It's going
just
to be the MJ talking to Andrew morning show coming up in January.
Roxy, you sent me the story. I'm being. Hey, anything you want to tell us? Are you thinking about a January divorce? I'm joking. Calm down.
Hey, can we have
Holy
production start
crap.
making MJ talking to Andrew morning show because that might be what it is in January.
Well, Fester, I don't see you going anywhere. I didn't drag you into this. You didn't send me the story.
Well, yeah, I mean, every day's my
Holy
last around
crap!
here.
Way to derail, Roxanne.
Okay.
Wow.
You asked.
All
What
right.
am I supposed to? What am I supposed to say?
All right,
Yep,
all
I
right,
met Doug and
all
Eric
right,
in divorce. That's why I sent it
okay.
to you.
Um,
Surprise!
Just roll with it. I'm just having fun with it. Calm down, Jesus. All right. Move it along.
This is like
Wow.
a terrible marriage around
Wow,
here.
it's unbelievable. Recco Wednesday. Just where are we? 7:30.
Let's just get through the holidays
Yeah,
for the children. Let's just show the children one more nice holiday.
My God.
Let's act
Right.
like friends through the holidays.
All right.
That's how come January's divorce
All
season.
right. 7:34 at the MJ Morning Show. Let me be like one of those CSX crews that put the derailment back on the tracks.
Dude, you know what job I
Yes,
want?
what?
I want to be the CSX guy who drives the truck on the train tracks.
You know, the pickup truck
Yeah.
with the special rails or so you can
They go
drive.
down.
Yeah, you can drive because they drive on the regular road, but then they also, hey, why don't you get off the text line, would you please?
I'm sending them all to you.
No,
I'm
no,
sending
no,
them to you.
no, just
These are funny.
no,
read them.
no,
Read them out
no,
loud.
no,
There are
no,
like 20 of them.
no,
They're like,
no,
MJ,
no.
you're rude.
No, just no more text line during the show. Shut it off.
I know,
Seriously.
I
No,
know.
no. Shut it.
Because we don't want to hear what they have to say.
Well, you know what? I'm changing the password so you can't get on it.
Oh.
That's going to happen later today.
Ooh, yay.
All right, no, but you know what? I want one of those. I want
The truck that has
Yes.
the lever that can drop a
Yeah,
rail to
so
where you can ride on the train.
it's like a pickup truck or it's a utility truck. I've seen two different ones, and the truck can drive on the regular road, but then they can drop the train wheels. See, that's what you need. That if traffic's bad, you veer off and just drive on the train tracks,
And then you-
just hope that no freight train's coming at you.
I mean, you see him a mile away, you'd have plenty of time to get off.
at 80 miles an hour.
No, my son Hudson and I saw that train
Yeah.
car truck on the track,
Yeah.
and he was like mesmerized. He's like, "That's the coolest vehicle ever." I'm like, "Yes, it is."
You know what else I've noticed? Listen to this. Something else I've noticed is that a lot of the tree companies that are coming in from out of town, I've noticed numerous tree trucks because you have all these tree companies that have come in to help with hurricane, tree, and debris removal. I've seen a number of those trucks, the big tree removal trucks. They have them as well, because the railroads, they hire these companies
To trim the lines
to go
or-
to go down the train tracks and get rid of trees, which could be an obstruction. So, all right, I have an abbreviation list here when it comes to like shorthand abbreviations on your cell phone text usage. And if you use certain abbreviations, there could be a downside here that your response, if you use an abbreviation, might be perceived as completely insincere. So if you're using very common abbreviations, sort of as shorthand when you text, there is new research that shows that the recipient might not take you seriously, that you might not be exuding the message that you want to exude, or that you are portraying yourself as somebody that you might not want to portray yourself. So what am I saying?
We don't know.
I don't know.
All right.
None of us know.
This is research from the American Psychological Association, and this is from the Journal of Experimental Psychology. And the general conclusion is that if you use abbreviations, that you don't sound sincere and honest in your text messaging.
LOL.
Well,
LOL.
all right. So hold on. Those are on the list.
Dude, I can't believe you said that. Just STUFU.
Listen. Okay. In the study,
No, I messed that up.
5,300 participants who used abbreviations in texts were seen as more insincere and less likely to get replies, since it appeared that they weren't putting in a genuine effort in the communication. Is that clear now? That should be crystal clear.
I find this shocking.
Are you shocked at this information?
Shocked.
I just need you to GTFO with that.
I'm shocked at this information.
All right, so let me give you the list. Here's the deal. If you use abbreviations, you come across as less sincere and not serious.
Okay.
So think about this. If you're having serious communications
Yes.
via text, and that's a whole different argument. Can you really have a serious communication over text? All right? That's a whole different avenue that we can explore. But here are some of the examples. Some of the most popular abbreviations which people use, which can be perceived as being not serious or insincere in your text communications. First on the list is LOL. Laugh out loud.
Huh, nobody's laughing now.
BRB.
Be right back.
Yep. OMG is oh my God, of course. IDK, I don't know.
We know what they mean.
FYI. IMO is
The look I go for, emo.
no. What is IMO?
In
So you don't even know. You're like telling me, oh, we know what they stand for. You don't even know what that stands for. IMO is
in my orifice.
in my. Well,
In my orifice.
In my opinion.
yep.
In my opinion, you could look in my orifice.
JK, joking.
I was just kidding.
ASAP, as soon as possible. ILY, I love you. In case you missed it, ICYMI, SMH, which is SMH, Fester.
Suck my.
All right, all right, SMH. Shaking my head. Oh, so you're the one who
I would have got the head part right.
Yeah. All right. So here, you're the one saying, oh, we all know what they mean. You don't even know half of these.
I know what they mean.
So,
I tell jokes around here, unlike some people.
All right, so shaking my head,
Andrew.
ROFL, rolling on the floor laughing.
Right.
TMI, too much
Too much
information.
information.
TBH, to be honest. WBU or WBY, what about you?
Hold on. So I've never heard or used the TBH
Yeah.
or the last one you said with the UTI.
WBU or WBY, what about you?
I never used that
All right.
one.
So just some of the examples. Hey, heads up. If you're communicating via text, think twice about using the abbreviations because research shows that people do not think you're sincere and you're not serious if you use the abbreviations.
If I respond with ha, that means I'm done talking. Do you ever do that? Do you have like a little thing that's like, okay, this conversation's over. Ha.
Yeah, it's kind of, yeah. It's
Like,
that little,
like, let's just put this to bed.
I've acknowledged your joke. I don't
Yeah.
want to communicate anymore.
Huh.
Otherwise, I would have asked you a question or something. BRB, by the way, MJ.
Be right back.
I'll be right back.
You going? You're going to BRB on us right now?
I'd like to go.
I have a list of baby names, and these are real. These are attributable to real people. And Andrew, were you able to pull the audio on this baby name expert? Yeah, you got to hear this. This is...
How the hell do you become a baby name expert? I'm a baby name expert. Call me up. Tell me what I can name any kid.
I don't know. Andrew, where are the baby name expert audio bites here?
This person walks around. I'm a baby name expert.
Hold on. This woman was recently on the Today Show.
Ooh, wow.
With Matt Lauer. No, is it Savannah Guthrie and is it Hoda?
I know Al Roker's there.
All right. So you got to listen to this. This is Colleen Slagan. And Colleen Slagan is a baby naming expert and mother of 3. And I want you to listen to what she has to say about naming babies.
Okay.
And then I want you to hear some of the baby names of some celebrities and influencers. And some of these are absolutely ridiculous. All right, listen to Colleen.
Baby name X from a baby name consultant. When sibling names are overly matchy. Looking at you, Michelle Duggar. No, I'm not really talking about when they have the same starting first letter. More like when they just overall sound too similar, like Leela and Layla. When you shamelessly take someone else's baby name. I'm not saying everyone can just stake their claim on a name, but if your partner's sister says she loves the name Mila, but she's not having kids yet. If you get pregnant with a girl and name her Mila, an idea you got from her with no acknowledgement. Okay, when you get too crazy with spellings. Unless it's a Gaelic name, then go off. But overall, changing the spelling of a super common name is not the way to be original. When you tell someone you don't like their baby's name, but no one asked you. My last one is when everyone trashes honor names with the argument of like, give everyone their own unique name, not something they need to live up to. And I'm not talking about like doing the exact same name 100 times, like John Edward Smith the 15th.
All right.
I just get sad thinking we'll be insignificant one day, so I think it's a cool way to carry on family legacy. Tell me your baby name X.
All right, so this is what she calls baby name X. Colleen Slagan, baby name expert. All right. Let me share with you some absolutely ridiculous baby names. There is a model by the name of Nora Smith. Listen, I don't know who the hell she is,
Okay.
but Fester, go.
Nora or Nara?
Nara, Nara.
Nara Smith.
Look up like Nara, Nara, Japan, with the famous little baby deer running around.
Okay.
In Nara. All right, so that's Nora Smith right there.
Yeah, she if she could work in a sandwich, she wouldn't be hurting herself.
All
But
right,
yeah, she's
so
a pretty model. Yeah, absolutely.
she's some kind of a model.
Right.
Nora Smith. She has 3 children. Would you like to know the names of the 3 children? Yes. How about Rumble Honey?
Is that all 3 or just one?
No, that is one name.
Okay.
So the first kid's name is Rumble, as in let's get ready to. Rumble is the first name, and I guess the middle name is Honey? Or is it, I don't see a hyphen. Rumble Honey is kid number 1.
Okay, that's the first and middle name. Okay.
Kid number 2 is Slim Easy.
Dude, I love that name.
What the Slim Easy?
If I didn't know my son was going to grow up to be so fat, I would have named him Slim Easy. What a great nickname that is.
Come on. Slim Easy. And then the youngest daughter for this model is Whimsy Lou. You're naming a girl Whimsy?
That's weird.
It's not a compliment to be called Whimsy. Is it a compliment?
Whimsy with an N or an M?
Whimsical?
Say it again.
Whim, W-H-I-M.
Whim.
So you're thinking maybe like
Whimsical.
Whimsical, exactly. So Rumble, the 3 kids are Rumble Honey, Slim Easy, and Whimsy Lou.
All right, so whimsy means playful.
All right.
Playful and fanciful. Or humorous.
That is ridiculous.
Whimsy. Okay, that's right.
I mean, it's almost like you're setting your kids up for idiocy.
Yeah, you are.
Rumble Honey, Slim Easy, and Whimsy Lou are your kids' names.
Dude,
you know what? You ought to be arrested.
Slim Easy.
You ought to be investigated by like the Child Protective Services.
You're born with a rap name, Slim Easy. I love that. And I'm not mad at Rumble.
All right, what about Francesca Farrago, described as a reality star? What the hell is look this up. Look up Francesca Farrago, and what is she a reality star of? Oh, she's described as a YouTuber.
Okay.
All right. What did I say, Andrew? What did I say? Did I say Francesca? Francesca or Francesca, however she pronounces it.
Francesca Farrago.
Oh my God, she's got 6.2 million followers on Instagram.
Wow.
What the bleep? Really?
Yes. And she posted a video of a fake groin pull the other day that has, I'm kidding, that's you. But no, she has a very active Instagram, 6.2 million followers.
Oh my God! But what is she famous for? What reality has she done? Anyway, listen to her kids' names. She's another name freak. So she's got fraternal twins, not identical. She's got fraternal twins, and the first kid's name is Locket Romance. What?
Lock it down.
Locket.
Lock down the romance.
Locket. Locket. Like a necklace with a locket, and you open it up, there's a little picture inside, a little keepsake. Locket. Locket Romance is kid number 1. Kid number 2 is Poetry Lucia. Hold it, you're naming a kid. Hey, Poetry. Come on. You don't name a girl Poetry. First name Poetry.
Call me Poe.
Get the hell out. I'm sorry. That's just.
I'm studying poetry.
It's like
you're studying me? No, I'm studying poetry. It lends itself to too many
It's like you're
who's on first.
screaming for attention, is what it sounds like to
Lock
me.
it in poetry. All
Yeah.
right, they're cute words. I don't know how they work for names,
They,
but
they
all right.
don't. They don't work for names. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I think Andrew says it's child abuse. I said a few minutes ago. Yeah, I mean,
All right.
call Child Protective Services.
Listen, it's not child abuse. Kids have weird names.
Listen, you're setting the kids up for problems. I'm sorry. As for baby girls and baby boys, if you want to hear what are slated to be the most popular baby names next year, so babies born in 2025.
Are we over like the for boys the N ending names like Aiden?
Well, hold
Ryden?
on.
That was a trend.
There's a couple of these on here. So for 2025, the hottest baby name for girls is expected to be Margot. I didn't know that. That name seems to be making a comeback. Margot, which I think is a nice name. Margot, Margot, or maybe in Appalachia, Margot. I don't know. So Margot is set to be one of the hottest baby names for girls next year in 2025.
There's like 3 spellings for that name.
Yeah. Then followed by Georgia.
Like the state?
Yeah, the state, Georgia.
Well, I was talking about the Russian state.
You know, we knew somebody years ago. Chloe had a skiing friend years ago when Chloe was over Christmas time when she was in ski school. She had a friend probably back when she was like 7 or 8 years old named Georgia.
Yeah.
Miller. You know any girls named Miller? Miller is set to be one of the popular names for girls in 2025.
So I don't have many morals or ethics or line in the sand things, but I don't know that I want to name my kid after
A beer?
any really popular American product.
Miller Lite.
Yeah, middle name Light.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to name my kid Nike. I mean, and no offense, I wouldn't want to name my kid New Balance for that matter either.
All right, so for girls, you got Scotty, Andy, Billy, Billie, Lottie, Lottie, Goldie, and Haley. So are the I'll take calls on this. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Andrew wants to know if I want to take some calls on this. Yeah, I have no problem with that. 800-990-1047. 800-990-1047. That's how you dial it up. 800-990-1047. All right, fire up the phones.
So
It seems like a lot of these names end in IE, like, Scotty, Andy, Billy, Lottie, Goldie, Hallie.
a lot of names that traditionally you'd associate with males.
Yeah.
Then for the baby boy names for 2025, George is supposed to be on top. So George is supposed to be the biggest boy name next year in 2025. Then other popular names that are supposed to be big next year for babies born: Cal, Beckham,
Well, we know why that one's a popular name.
Tate, Rocky, also Hollis, Teddy, Bodden, Casey, and Crew, C-R-E-W, Crew. Interesting.
I know a guy named George, and if you met him, you'd never name your kid after him. You'd be like, ugh, kill the name now.
George is one of the most popular. Dude, George is one of the most popular names for decades and for 200 years.
I know a guy named
Our
George.
first president was George.
I know one George.
All right, great. So
And
you know one George out of millions of Georges.
He's tainted the whole name.
The whole thing's screwed up.
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying? All right, 7:53 at the MJ Morning Show. Andrew says, "Hey, calls are abundant," and I'm looking down. Every line is ringing. Hey, bring up the screener board, would you
I'm getting
please?
There. All right, there we go.
Let me grab line 1. Dallas is in Tampa. Hey, Dallas, welcome to the MJ Morning Show.
Hello, hello.
Hello.
I believe a lot of the influencers and stuff are just having these really quote-unquote unique names to gain more attention and everything. There's another famous YouTuber. Her name is Trisha Paytas. Her first daughter's name is Malibu Barbie, and her second one is Elvis.
She has a daughter named Malibu Barbie.
Yep.
Oh, my. And what is her claim to fame? She's a famous YouTuber for what reason? What does she do?
She was a kind of like makeup artist kind of ordeal,
All right.
and then kind of went on to more like drama style, and so that's where she's more known for. So.
Gotcha. And listen, your name is Dallas. I mean, that's, I've known several Dallases over the years, but, not a more common name. And what was the background on why your parents named you Dallas?
My parents got married on Super Bowl Sunday in '93, I believe it was '93.
And Dallas
And
won
it was,
that year?
Dallas Cowboys versus Buffalo Bills. My dad's a big Cowboys fan.
So they could have named you, if your mom was a Buffalo Bills fan, they could have named you Buffalo.
Yeah, I know, right? Buffalo Bill.
Or Buffalo Bill, like the serial killer in The Silence of the Lambs.
Yeah, just like the serial killer.
That'd be unique.
Yeah. All right, Dallas, thanks for the call, man. I appreciate it.
No problem. Have a good
All
one.
right, Katie's in Tampa. Hey, Katie, welcome to the MJ Morning Show.
Good morning, MJ. So I was on a plane from Tampa to Rhode Island and was talking to a labor and delivery postpartum nurse, and she said that she has heard the most ridiculous names ever. And she had to tell the mother that she couldn't name her daughter this. She wanted to name her daughter Vagina.
Oh my God.
Vagina?
Apostrophe. Vagina.
Vagina?
Yes, VA''Gina.
Oh my, yeah, the apostrophe, that makes it much better. Vagina.
Yeah, right.
Oh my God. Listen, I told the story, Katie, almost as bad as that. I remember, and this actually happened, my dad owned a plastics factory in Portsmouth, Virginia, and this is back in the late 70s or early 80s. There was an employee in the factory that was pregnant, gave birth, and named the girl Placenta.
I remember you saying that.
Yep.
Oh, my goodness.
Yep, the girl's name was Placenta.
Yeah, how's she doing right now?
I don't know.
Probably wildly successful.
It's $300 for a name change.
Vagina.
Vagina.
Like Regina
Vagina.
with
She
a V.
finally, after arguing with the mother, had to go out and come back hours later and say the government didn't approve that.
So she acquiesced or was told she couldn't name the baby Vagina.
Correct.
Wow.
And she said this isn't the first time she had to go out and pretend, because she said the government's going to reject it anyways. So it wasn't the first time she had to go out and pretend that the government's going to reject it and go back and tell the mother, well, the government rejected it.
Wow.
You got to pick a new name. Yeah.
You know what?
She said she was looking out for that kid.
I'm gonna name my baby boy Panis.
Oh, no.
Panis.
And just hope everybody gets pronunciation
All right.
correctly.
Thank you, Katie. Thanks for the story.
You're welcome.
Oh, wow. Look at this. I wasn't even going to take calls on this, and every line is exploded here. Penelope in Lake Alfred. Hello, Penelope. You're on the MJ Morning Show.
Hi there. I just wanted to say you have a lot of power when you're naming your kids.
Yep.
You can give them a really great name that's going to push them to something greatness in their lives, or you can give them a really dopey name that's going to really hold them back. So you got to think hard about what you are naming your children before you put it down on paper.
Yes, Penelope.
I think that those are very good words of advice.
You know, Penelope, that's how I feel about every guy I've ever met named Cody. Oh, that's the dumbest name ever.
No, it's not.
Cody.
No,
Cody.
it's...
Your parents imbeciles? Oh, let's name the kid Cody. Cody or Guy. You ever know a guy named Guy? What's wrong with your parents?
Hey, guess what? I know a guy.
I think I know 5 guys named Guys.
I
Wait, 5 guys? I've been there.
I know a guy.
Yeah, that's great.
By the way, 5 Guys these days, you get a couple of burgers. It's now $65.
No kidding.
Thanks. Thanks. You're not feeding 5 guys. It seems like you're paying for 5 guys, but you're not. Paying for like 2 guys. All right. Bill's in Clearwater. Bill, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Hi.
Good morning.
Yes,
My
Bill.
friend, his name is Hayden, Hayden, owns the Oldsmar Florist, and when people call in to order flowers, he tells them that his name is Joe because people can't remember Hayden.
Why, Hayden? Hayden? I've heard that name before. I don't know why.
I tell him that all the time. I said, why do you tell people your name is Joe? Why don't you just say Hayden? He goes, well, because people don't remember that.
All right.
But they remember Joe. Thanks, Bill. Appreciate it. Kenneth in Odessa. Kenneth, MJ Morning Show. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, Kenneth, go ahead.
Hi, Judge. Great talking to you. A long-time listener, first-time caller.
Thank you.
I just wanted to tell you, when my wife is German, my mother's German, so when we had started having kids, I wanted to have a very strong Germanic name for my son and daughter.
Oh, no.
And we got into arguments with my wife. So we ended up with my son Siegfried, which we called Ziggy. And we ended up with my daughter, I wanted Sieglinde, which comes from an epic German poem. She refused to do that, my wife. And we ended up with Charlotte. But I heard you mention that Lottie is a popular name.
Yeah, it's expected that Lottie is going to be big for girls next year.
Yep. The nickname in Germany for a Charlotte is Lottie.
Oh, I didn't know. Oh,
Okay.
for
So
Charlotte, Lott, yeah,
Okay.
Yeah, interesting. Thank
I
you,
never
Kenneth.
put that together. Yeah.
Wow, look at that.
You named your first son Siegfried, though. That's a bold move.
Thank you. Sarah Largo. Hello, Sarah.
Morning. So my mom taught, and it was about 20 years ago, and she told me that two kids, one was named Miracle Catching, and the other was named Lacey Shoe.
Lacey Shoe and Miracle Catching.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, Sarah! I thought you were going to talk about the urban legend about the twins.
Don't even bring up lemon jello and orange jello.
Lamangelo and Orangelo. Get it right.
I'm sorry. Stop it. Thank you, Sarah. Where was this? What city?
It was in Niles, Michigan. We lived there for about 20 years. And I have to say, my son, MJ, loves you. And he would love it if you could say hi to him sometime.
What's your son's name?
Luke.
Is Luke listening now?
When we get off the phone, I'm going to turn it on real quick.
Yeah, because there'll be a little bit of a delay. So once you get off the phone, turn the radio up and he'll be able to hear it. So, Luke, I am not your father. Luke.
As far as we know.
Yeah, Luke, thank you for listening to the MJ Morning Show. Luke, you're a smart kid. Keep listening. All right, thanks, Sarah.
You don't know Luke.
All right, Sarah, turn it up, okay? All
Hang
right.
up now.
Yeah, it's enough calls. Every line is jammed here.
Every line. And burn through these. We have 6 more calls.
Oh, no, I'm going through all the rest of them on hold here. Erica in Tampa. Hey, Erica.
Hey, MJ. Hey, crew.
Hey.
Hi.
Hey.
So my old boss was doing his medical training in Atlanta, and he delivered a baby, and the mom insisted on naming the child Chlamydia.
All right, come on. Is that real?
It can't be.
It's real, and he said there was nothing he could do. They had to take it to, like, the hospital administration, all of this stuff.
Did they explain to the mother that the word chlamydia is a sexually transmitted infection?
I'm sure. Listen, this was the same hospital that he went to practice a vaginal exam and found a wad of money.
What?
That's a
Yes.
different segment.
These are true stories. This man would not lie.
Wait a minute.
True stories.
Did an exam and there was a wad of money in there?
A wad of money, and she said that's the only place I can keep it safe. I forgot it was in there.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much.
Have a great day.
And I thought that the sweaty $50 bill in the old Larry David Curb Your Enthusiasm episode was nasty. Oh, my God. Are you freaking kidding me? All right, let me go back to phones. Kevin and Hudson. I'll do Kevin, Chris, Melissa, and Robin. So Kevin, Chris, Melissa, Robin, and then you'll get you guys around. The phones I had no idea the phones were going to rip like this. Kevin, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Hi.
Good morning. How we doing?
Yes.
Going back to Nara, the model. Look at her husband's name is Lucky Blue.
Oh, okay.
So let's see where it could stem from.
So you know about this.
No, I was looking it up shortly after.
Oh, you were looking it up. I got you. All right.
That's one of the first things that came up with different names.
Wow. All right. Thank you for calling. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Chris in Lakeland. Chris, MJ Morning Show. Hello.
Good morning, guys. So I was telling him I was working in North Carolina, and I was trying to get a person's name that I had to write down. And you could tell what mom was craving during the pregnancy by her name, because she kept blurts out Tropicana, Chiquita, Tabasco, and then gives me her last name.
Say it again.
I said, really? That's your name? She says, yeah, Tropicana, Chiquita, Tabasco.
Tropicana, Chiquita, Tabasco.
Orange juice, bananas, and hot sauce.
Was her name?
It was her name. Yep.
Oh, my
and that's
God.
what she had on her ID and everything.
Hold on. Where was this? What city?
Wilmington, North Carolina.
And you're telling me on a North Carolina driver's license it said Chiquita
Tropicana.
I'm sorry, Tropicana,
Tabasco,
Chiquita, Tabasco.
And then had a normal last name in there. Yep.
And that was printed on the driver's license.
That was printed on the driver's
Oh, my
license.
God, it's unbelievable. Thank you, Chris. Man, who knew these calls were going to come in? All right, two more. Melissa and Robin, round this out. Then we're going to move on. Melissa, MJ Morning Show, welcome.
Hi.
Hello, Melissa.
Hi,
Go ahead. Yes, go ahead.
Well, I named my son a very different name because I wanted a good name to stand out. I named him Hadar.
Your daughter's name is what?
No, my son.
Oh, your son.
Hadar.
Is what?
Hadar.
Hadar?
Haidar.
Oh,
Hadar.
heaven!
Hair-
Apologies.
Yeah.
Hairdar.
It's hair-
And how old is your son now?
He'll be 17 next week.
I mean, I don't see any issues with it.
Is there any significance to it? Like, is there a family name or
Yes.
ethnicity or?
Yes, my husband's from Bangladesh, and so I wanted to give my son, our son, an Arabic first name, and it means lion.
Oh, very, very nice. Thank you, Melissa. I appreciate it. All right, one more here. Robin in Palm Harbor will bring this to a close. Hello, Robin. Welcome.
Hi, MJ. Long-time listener, first-time caller.
Well, thank you, Robin. Welcome to the program. Go ahead.
Thank you. Okay, so not as crazy as Tabasco or Chiquita, but when I first moved to Florida, we were living in an apartment complex, and the lady below us had two young daughters. She was pregnant, and she had one young daughter, and their last name was June, June, like
Right.
a month. So they proceeded to name their daughter April. You can guess what her middle name was.
May?
It was April. May, June.
April, May, June.
Yeah, that was her name, and their daughter that was to be born was named July.
You got to keep it going.
Yeah, and their name was Chris and Pam, so figure that out.
Oh,
You know, I gotta say, stand alone. None of them are terrible names, but mix them together.
Yeah. But I felt bad for that little girl when I was growing up. I was her babysitter. I was like, wow, April, May, June. She's
April,
gonna
May,
get
June.
fertilized.
All right. Thank you. Thanks, Rob. You too,
You
Robin.
too.
Look at that. All right, we've got breaking news on the Diddy front, folks. There are multiple Diddy stories. I'm going to start out with the Whopper first. So instead of building up, I'm just going to hit you right over the head with the biggie. And this broke yesterday afternoon. This is involving the Sean Diddy Combs situation. And I'd love to know who this is. An unnamed celebrity has filed an extortion lawsuit against the attorney representing Sean Diddy Combs in all of his, or the attorney representing Sean Diddy Combs' accusers, I should
That
say.
Busby guy?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, unnamed celebrity files extortion lawsuit against the attorney representing accusers of Sean Diddy Combs. And this is that dude down in Texas.
Something Busby.
Yeah. He's almost like advertising on TV. It's Tony Busby.
Yeah.
Is the guy's name. So who is the unnamed celebrity? Are they going to be able to keep this as John Doe? Listen to this. An anonymous male celebrity says he's the victim of an extortion scheme and is suing a high-powered Texas attorney who's representing several people in civil lawsuits that accuse Sean Diddy Combs of sexual assault. So the unnamed plaintiff, but described as an unnamed celebrity.
Why would you be unnamed? If you're going to go after somebody,
Yeah.
you gotta
They're going to
say,
have to come
"Hey,
out.
I'm so-and-so. This person's coming at me. This is completely false.
The lawsuit is filed as a John Doe. So there's, for whatever reason, protection here.
Dude, I don't like this at all.
The unnamed plaintiff described in the lawsuit as a celebrity and public figure who resides in Los Angeles, filed his complaint under a John Doe pseudonym in Los Angeles Superior Court. He's accusing Houston, Texas-based attorney Tony Busby and his firm of shamelessly attempting to extort exorbitant sums from him or else publicly file wildly false, horrific allegations against him. All right, so this is a celebrity who is this celebrity being tied into the Diddy claims? Because remember, there are lots of celebrities that were at these Diddy freak-offs. You know, we're waiting. We know a lot of the names of celebrities that went to these parties. What we don't know is the participation level of some of these celebrities. And with all of these lawsuits, and this guy Busby in Texas being sort of like he's like the mesothelioma attorney type he's the asbestos. He's the what's the water the Camp Lejeune. Yeah. He's the Camp Lejeune water lawsuit lawyer, a la the Diddy case.
He goes after very high profile cases.
So what is this? Is this just a celebrity who is being implicated by one of the accusers as part of the whole P. Diddy freak-off party deal, and the celebrity is trying to get out in front by going on the offensive instead of the defensive?
He can't go on the offensive unless we know who he is. Because I'll tell you right now, everybody in Hollywood was at a Diddy party at one time or another when it was the party part of it.
But it makes you wonder if this John Doe is someone who we've heard of who's in even closer circles with him, like, you know, people who were in the Kim Porter book. Jay-Z was in the Kim Porter book.
If he
Will
was
Smith.
a participant in the freak-offs, then you know what? I have no sympathy for the person. But if you went to a couple of parties that were big events, I mean, every high-profiled person in every industry is seen with Diddy in some capacity.
The unnamed plaintiff, described in the lawsuit as a celebrity and public figure who resides in Los Angeles, filed his complaint under a John Doe pseudonym. He has accused Houston-based attorney Tony Busby and his firm of shamelessly attempting to extort exorbitant sums of money from him, or they'll publicly file wildly false, horrific allegations against him. So initially, because of the number of celebrities and the debauchery that occurred at these Diddy parties, again, my first inclination, and I could be wrong here, is that this person maybe is trying to go on the very forceful denial front first and trying to get out in front of it by trying to paint the accuser and this attorney as extortionists. So, you know, my first inclination, hey, you know, the allegations might be true. But listen, I don't know that, and listen, we don't know who it is either, but interesting. A spokesperson for Quinn Emanuel, the law firm representing John Doe, confirms the complaint was filed on Monday. Busby has, this is incredible. Busby has said that he's representing at least 120 alleged victims of Sean Combs. Over the past month, he has filed more than a dozen civil lawsuits against Combs. In some cases, accusing Combs of drugging, sexually assaulting plaintiffs, some of whom allege that they were minors at the time.
All right, so is part of his business model to go after everybody around Combs and say, pay me now and I'll keep your name out of the headlines?
That's a good question. You know, if that's the case, that would be extortion. But, you know, what if this Busby has a client who has the goods and has a legitimate accusation against this individual, and they're trying to, again, make a lot of noise, go out on the offensive before they have to be on defense. So that's a possibility. Anyway, this Diddy story, we are just at the beginning of the messiness of this whole story. For whatever you've heard, the 1,000 bottles of baby oil and lube and, you know, all of the crazy stories we've heard, that's just the beginning. Once this unravels, when you've got 120 alleged victims, and
they start naming names.
Yeah, I got to believe that there are a lot of legitimate victims in this sex trafficking and all of the accusations against Sean Diddy Combs.
I mean, we've heard so many rumors over the years about creepy stuff that happens in the entertainment business, and this is it. It's not just rumors.
Yeah.
A lot of people are involved.
Yeah. Let me tell you right now. The first 3 pages of chapter 1 of a 500-page book are known at this point.
Yeah.
I believe that's how much more is to be written about this Sean Diddy Combs case as it proceeds towards trial and all the crap that's going to come out. All right. So, unnamed celebrity files an extortion lawsuit against the attorney who is representing Sean Diddy Combs' accusers. The guy that apparently has the initial corner on the market, this Tony Busby. Also, so 2 other Diddy things, and then we'll move on. Remember Diddy claimed that the feds raided his cell? Remember we talked about this earlier this week, and that Diddy was accused of using like other inmates' cell phones? First of all, I didn't know you were allowed to have cell phones, or he was using apparently up to 7 or 8 cell phones to try to contact witnesses and try to intimidate or sway. Well, in the sweep, when the feds went in and they raided Diddy's cell,
What they find?
the claim is that they took a bunch of notes, case and trial notes, which would be privileged material. And now, apparently, the notes have to be destroyed, according to TMZ.
Why?
Because if you've got notes and you've got written material inside your cell, and if that is actually notes and writings that you're going to use in your defense, well, that material could be privileged and not privy.
I can't write notes about my own case in my cell?
No, he did, but the feds took it.
Can't they hand it back to him?
Right. Well, so Andrew's asking a good.
Yeah.
Andrew, was that on the air or off the air?
Yeah, it was on the air.
Mm-hmm.
Andrew's right.
Right.
Can't they just say, "Here's your stuff we confiscated from your room"?
But then you can make the argument that the prosecutors, how do we know that they didn't look at the notes and now they know potential defense strategies? So
Isn't that true even if they destroy them?
That's also correct. Yes. Same deal.
I am shocked at this information. Shocked. And I'm sure I'm not alone.
I'm shocked at this information.
I am not alone.
I'm shocked at this information.
Yeah, so the feds' raid on Diddy's cell is, apparently not going anywhere. Judge sided with the defense team for Diddy.
Wow.
A hearing over the search of the MDC Brooklyn jail cell was held yesterday after Diddy's defense team accused prosecutors of obtaining privileged material in an unlawful raid on his prison cell.
So I have done the absolute minimum amount of research about this jail that he's at, the federal prison in Brooklyn.
Yeah, it's the MDC. It's the Metropolitan Detention Center, I think is what it's called.
Yeah.
In Brooklyn. It's not a good facility. It's like dirty. It's got a bad reputation.
Everything I've seen about this place, the MDC, Metropolitan Detention Center, I mean, I'm sure there's phones and contraband and drugs everywhere in this place.
Of course.
So, I mean, for Diddy to get access to 7 phones, I didn't think he was talking to 7 people. I thought they were keeping him like in high profile quarantine.
Right.
Because if I were at MDC, first thing I'm doing, I'm killing Diddy for some street cred.
All right, then...
You're a tough guy, Fester.
Wow.
Then the final thing is that there's just more on like damaged places with all of the lube and baby oil. So there's a story that popped up yesterday that there was a party held at a Parisian palace in Las Vegas.
Okay.
That Combs had rented for $25,000, and I guess the aftermath showed blood-stained sheets and lubricant, condoms, cocaine, razor blades, all kinds of broken bottles of alcohol, used condoms, bedding, wrecked powder, baby oil, blades by the hundreds. What? Razor blades by the hundreds? What, for lines of coke?
Of course.
Maybe. I mean, by the hundreds, though?
I mean, he's a quantity guy. If you haven't been able to tell,
He does
he's quantity with the baby oil quantity. Yeah,
He buys in bulk.
he does.
He does.
He's got some specific purchase habits.
You know, I'm the same way with corn. I buy cans of corn like 12 at a time. I buy in
Wow.
bulk.
Well, anyway, so that's the Diddy pile for today here on the MJ Morning Show. Hey, I had so many people, and I get it's just because I've flown Spirit Airlines numerous times since April, and an airline that I had never been on, and actually an airline that I had kind of poo-pooed because of, you know, all the upcharging and charging you for this and that, and, you know, the whole ultra low cost air carrier model. And I found myself finding that Spirit had the most convenient flight times for me on multiple occasions to get from Tampa to Fort Lauderdale to see my parents. So I've now flown Spirit on 4 round trips.
Admit it, you caught the spirit.
I caught the Spirit.
You caught the spirit.
Right. I caught syphilis also on the aircraft, but no, I'm kidding.
You wish you had that much fun.
All right, so here's the deal. So I caught the Spirit, and you know what? I've no complaints. Everything I expected was what happened. I did the lowest seat price, and sometimes if I was able to book early, I've gotten a seat for as little as $38.99 from Tampa to Fort Lauderdale and Fort Lauderdale back to Tampa. I mean, that is just cheap as dirt, all right? And then that includes no extras because I don't need them. I don't pay to pick a seat. I've kind of figured out how to game the system on how to check in and when to get a good seat, not in the back, not in the middle, and I've been very successful with that. And then as far as I don't check a bag.
Yeah.
I carry on.
And
you know, I carry on quite a bit on this show on a daily basis.
And a little known travel hack: if you turn your underwear inside out, you can get 2 days out.
Oh, you stop it.
So,
Oh, my God.
so you know, MJ's really a very economical flyer.
So I've flown Spirit, but with my discussions on Spirit, I was bombarded with people. Man, MJ, you hear that Spirit's filed for bankruptcy? And hey, and I got several. Hey, MJ, you caused Spirit to go bankrupt. How the hell did I cause Spirit? Listen,
you bought their ticket. You're helping them stay in business. You're their number one customer.
I call it because how the hell can they really fly me to Fort Lauderdale for $38.99? I mean, you take an Uber ride from Ray J to Carrollwood, it's $38.99. I mean, let's face it. I mean, my God. All right. So I people are joking with me, and I still have no problem flying Spirit. They're not going out of business. Spirit, and this also gives me an excuse to play that fight between the 2 Spirit employees at the airport, which we don't know which airport it was, but Spirit's still going to be flying. They're not going out of business yet. So they're reorganizing. So it's a reorganizational, you know, a Chapter 11 bankruptcy. It's reorganization. You shed debt and hopefully emerge healthier on the other side.
So as a consumer, and
Right.
I'm looking this up as we're talking.
Yeah. And you know, it's a Florida company. They're based right near Fort Lauderdale. They're based at Dania Beach. They're in Dania, which is right in between Fort Lauderdale and Hollywood.
It says the Florida-based company says no changes. They're going to continue operations as normal.
Yeah.
So as a consumer, if you have a Spirit ticket, it's still good. You can expect that flight to be on time.
I've been building up quite a bunch of points in my Spirit account.
Ooh.
So my points are still good.
They may call you and be like, "Sir, we need those points back. We've fallen on hard times."
Right, but I'll tell you right now, this just gives me the opportunity to play that crazy audio bite again. And I don't know, has it ever come out where this was?
No.
Which airport? We don't know. We don't know which airport this was. It was a Spirit counter, the check-in counter, and 2 Spirit employees, 2 women, are going at it. Now, there's one that's more of the aggressor, that's the most vocal. So clearly, these 2 Spirit women at the ticket counter, they had some kind of a disagreement. And something was said, and this one lady is just going off on this other female Spirit employee while a customer's getting checked in. And the audio is unbelievable. And folks are like, well, this is exactly why Spirit's going bankrupt.
Like it, girl. Bitch, don't play with me. Do not play with me.
All right,
Do
listen.
not play with me because I'm not the one nor the 2. You're not the one or the two. Let's go. You ain't got shit. You ain't gonna do nothing.
Name my ticket. Speaking on me for nothing.
Like I said, keep my name out your mouth, bitch.
Keep my name out your mouth, because mine is always in yours for some reason.
No, some reason.
It always
out of here. Out of here. Out of here before I slap the shit out of you.
You're not gonna smack.
Try me.
You think
I'm not
trying
trying. Try me, Tantika.
You know what? This is really the Spirit experience, I guess. You know,
I mean,
Yeah.
well, Larry, that's unfair because I've had
you've had good experience.
I've had listen. I'm obviously I'm making a joke because of the perceptions of Spirit. But with that said, I'll make the joke. But I will say that I've had 4 flawless round trip experiences from Tampa to Fort Lauderdale and back. 4 separate occasions from May, June, September, October, November, whatever. I've had 4 of them, and they've been fine. But nevertheless, it's just kind of fun to portray this as, hey, this is what you get. You even have Spirit employees.
I be done drop kick your ass.
I'm going to drop kick. Can you imagine you're a customer in line at the Spirit counter? And Andrew says, by the way, he found that it's Philadelphia.
Okay. It doesn't surprise me at all.
No brotherly love there.
None. But you know what? I bet
no sisterly love.
No.
I bet you.
Yeah.
Mere seconds after this incident, which was an ugly incident.
Oh, they hugged?
No.
Oh, what?
But the
They
woman,
slugged?
The woman who said she's not the one or the two.
Right.
The one who's being, I don't know what that means, but
Yeah.
it sounds really tough. I'm not the one or the two.
Right.
What are you, the 3? I don't know what that means. But she turned right to the customer. How may I help you, sir? right to customer face.
All right, listen.
Out of here, you dirty bitch. Yes, you are.
She called her a dirty bitch.
Yeah.
It
What I
gets
liked before is when she was saying, get my name out of your mouth. This is all like, and then she said she was going to slap her. It's very Will Smith inspired.
Will Smith centric, yes.
Yeah, we mentioned that when we first played the audio, like last week when we first played it. It was like, hey, I think she got that line from Will Smith. Get my wife's name out of your mouth.
Out of here. You and your raggedy ass bitch.
Your raggy ass.
I have to say, raggedy ass is such a good
It
insult.
is.
Hey,
It is.
Who says that you have to pay for entertainment on Spirit? This was, I believe, free. They didn't charge for this.
Out of here. Go like I said what I said. And I said what I said. Please step to me like you want it. Go another dirty. I'm not the one of the two, bitch. You tried me 2 times. I want you to do it a 3rd.
All right. So I think the 1 or the 2, there were 2 incidents of the other woman trying her patience or something.
So she's not the 1 or the 2, but try a 3rd?
And now she's challenging her to try her a 3rd time. Wow.
Wasn't Raggedy Ass a kid's toy?
Raggedy Ann.
Oh,
yeah,
but you know
Raggedy
what?
Ann.
Why don't you introduce the Raggedy Ass doll?
Raggedy Ann and Andy.
Yeah. Raggedy Ass and Andy. Coming this holiday season.
It's Raggedy Ass. Available at Target.
You know how many you get?
Raggedy Ass.
You don't get not the 1.
Oh,
you get 2.
You get the 1, the 2, and try me and get the 3.
I love it.
Is that not unbelievable?
It really is.
I would legit walk up to her and ask for her autograph. I don't ask for autographs. I would ask for hers.
All right, let's talk about the Rays. Let's just take a second here. And is this going to get resolved? I mean,
it's not looking good.
You know, the Rays are almost like saying, like, we're taking our ball, we're going home, and we're not playing. First of all, the Rays are complaining about the delay in the bond vote. Well, you know, we've been kind of preoccupied here in the Tampa Bay area for just a little bit with the back-to-back hurricanes. You had the roof ripped off Tropicana Field, which obviously is putting the kibosh on the entire 2025 season.
Are you saying the Rays is using like the storm and other events that are preoccupying governing bodies as like leverage to pull something?
It looks, I don't know what the Rays are trying to do, but the Rays are trying to say that a 3-week delay in the bond vote has ruined everything.
Mm-hmm.
Everything is ruined.
It's ruined.
We can't have baseball and opening day at a new Trop in downtown St. Pete in 2028 because of a 3-week delay. It's ruined. I'm sorry.
I mean, that's a little dramatic for the Rays to take that
Yes.
stance, right?
And now it's time for Bad Radio Theater with your host, Leonard Pinth Garnell.
We join Leonard at a city council meeting where he is portraying the
my-
owner of the Rays.
All right, so where does this stand? I mean, the Rays are seemingly threatening to leave town. I'm not talking just St. Petersburg and like find the location now in Tampa, which, listen, I don't want to piss off the mayor and, but Tampa would be a better location for the Rays. Just the ability to draw more spectators, a larger volume of fans that would put more butts in the seats on a consistent basis. I mean, you had an average last season of 16,500 people at the Rays games locally. It's not enough. And what's going to change? Tell me what's going to change at a new ballpark. All right, it's going to be a nice whole complex, the whole plan. It's like a 30, 40-year plan.
Yeah, we'll go to a game or two.
I'm not going to be. Now, is there going to be a big rush? Are they going to sell out a bunch of the early games?
You bet.
Absolutely.
Sure.
But it's going to be a honeymoon period. So you're going to have a lot of people early, but then the problem of geography is going to settle in. Listen, I work in St. Petersburg here every day. Our studio is in St. Pete. But the Rays, for a consistent long-term fan base and spectator draw, an attendance draw, I think you need a different location, and I've said this 1,000 times. Maybe the Rays are starting to figure that out. But
you have said it 1,000 times. In fact, I remember when you said it 742nd at that time, and your point is just as valid now as it was then.
All right, so the story is, the breaking news is the whole stadium deal and having the Rays remain in town in Tampa Bay is being called in jeopardy right now. And, yesterday, county commissioners were set to vote. We have, a vote. What was was it 6 to? What was the original vote? In a 6-1 vote, commissioners will allow time for the newly seated commissioners to get up to speed on the project.
And there are two new commissioners.
And they're postponing it a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
It's not like it's a year or they've canceled it.
So they're going to push it to December now, is my understanding.
At the end of next week, it's December.
Right, I realize that. But the Rays are saying, too late! It's all ruined!
We're moving to Montreal.
All right, listen, I guess the vote is now delayed until mid-December. So it's going to be December 17th is now when the Rays wanted the bond vote like 3 weeks ago.
Okay.
And now the Rays are saying that we're stopping all work on the development, and that now there's no way that this project can be done for opening day 2028. And if it goes through, that it's going to push it to 2029, and that's going to cause untold millions in additional costs. And the Rays, it just seems like the Rays organization are acting like spoiled little babies.
Well, it seems like, are they really committed to wanting to stay here?
Yeah.
They want to entertain other places.
That's what I just said a second ago, essentially, was that it's almost like they're realizing that St. Pete is not really the best long-term home.
They might be realizing that West Central Florida is not the best home. And they might be eyeballing Charlotte.
Or Nashville.
Yeah. Or Montreal.
Right.
Or
Akron.
Austin or whatever. Akron is incredible right now.
Big baseball town. Yeah. Wow. Listen, I even think the Tampa Bay Downs, Derby Lane. Andrew's telling me that we have a part owner of Tampa Bay Downs on the phone. Hold on a sec. But I think like Derby Lane.
Not Tampa Bay Downs, the horses, the Tampa Bay racetrack on 275.
Maybe, hang on. Well, we got a call on hold. Hang on a sec.
All right.
But I think, for instance, if you want to stay in St. Pete, I think the Derby Lane would be a better location. It's closer to draw more people right across the Gandy or across the Howard Franklin is just a lot closer to draw people from larger population centers or people that are more conducive to go sit in the ballpark and watch a ball game.
Let's knock down Ruth Eckerd Hall. I mean, can't we have all those concerts at the baseball stadium anyway?
Yeah, Ruth Eckerd Hall is just a waste of real estate. No,
Ruth.
I'm kidding. Ruth Eckerd Hall
Ruth.
is a delightful place. I enjoy going to shows at Ruth Eckerd Hall. Now, leave Ruth Eckerd alone. Anyway, tell the call to hang on, Andrew, would you please? So you have a District 3 Commissioner, Vince Nowicki, and he's saying what a lot of folks have said, and we've mentioned this in the past, that the actual deal for the city of St. Petersburg, it's actually a bad deal. It's not a good economic deal. And you've got this District 3 Commissioner, Vince Nowicki, and he's saying that. You got the roof blown off. You got over $55 million in repair costs. I mean, does it make any sense to put that money into the place if it's going to be knocked down in 3 years or less? Doesn't make any sense at all. All right, some of the audio bites, and then I want to grab this phone call. I guess we've got a guy making a pitch who's part owner of, I think maybe Tampa Bay. Anyway, we'll find out. I don't know who he is. We'll find out in a second. But just some of the audio bites here. How about Brian Scott, Vice Chair, Pinellas County Commission? Listen to Brian Scott.
I think the rate strategy sucks, to be perfectly honest with you. I think it has for quite some time. They are horrible communicators, and I think they're the most politically tone-deaf organization I've ever met in my life.
Oh, man.
No punches held there, Commissioner.
Hey, Brian, tell us what you really think. Let's try this again.
I think the rate strategy sucks, to be perfectly honest with you. I think it has for quite some time. They are horrible communicators, and I think they're the most politically tone-deaf organization I've ever met in my life.
Wow, this is at the meeting yesterday. He goes on.
This deal may be going south. They may be sticking their toe in the water in other markets, or they may want to renegotiate this deal. And by sticking their toe in other markets, I'm not talking about Tampa.
So he's saying, like, outside of Florida, like leaving. Listen, Orlando could be in the cards, but outside of the Tampa Bay area, sticking their toe in and kind of seeing if they're just going to take the Rays completely. Listen, I want the Rays to stay. I think that Major League Baseball and having the Tampa Bay Rays here is great for the area. I want the Rays to stay. I just think that long-term, there's a better geographic location. I just felt like the whole project down there with the residential, the mixed use, and the retail, it seems like forced to put a ballpark down there when, in fact, just inherently, it's just not the best location for long-term fan-based draw.
Why can't you just have a stadium? Why does everything has to be mixed use?
Who
wants to live next to the stadium?
Well, they want to build that whole complex around it. It just seems like it's just let's try to justify it with a bunch of other stuff.
Other than game day, I never go to a stadium. I've never been to Raymond James Stadium outside of a game.
Let's try to put a whole bunch of housing right next to the stadium, so maybe they'll go to games and put their asses in the seat.
It's so crazy.
Yeah.
All right, one other audio bite. We mentioned this Vince Nowicki, District 3 Commissioner, Pinellas County.
We're getting gaslighted as a commission by the Rays to be, hey, we're the bad guys. But now it kind of feels like also from my colleagues that my election is being made a scapegoat of why we're delaying this.
It just seems like the Rays are being like babies about this, that they're like, that's it. We're leaving. That's it. But I mean, a 3-week delay. Come on.
Hold on. What did Wiki say?
What?
Was he against the Rays or the commission?
No, listen.
No.
We're getting gaslighted as a commission by the Rays to be, hey, we're the bad guys. But now it kind of feels like also from my colleagues that my election is being made a scapegoat of why we're delaying this.
He's coming after both people.
Yes, exactly. He's not making any friends.
The other people on the commission are like...
Some are saying that his election is also adding to the delay. Anyway.
Yeah, so what, they saying the wiki can't read the documents and figure it out? Vince, don't stand for this. Attaboy, Vince.
Listen, this was not a good deal when it was announced earlier this year.
Yeah, the whole thing
and it's still not a good deal from an economic standpoint. All right, so
who do we have on hold?
Hey, who am I taking here? Go to the screen, would you please? Roger. Roger, you're on the MJ Morning Show. So, Roger, who are you? Tell me.
Good morning. Good morning, sir. We're work over here at Tampa Bay Downs and sit on the board. At one time, we had spoken with Tampa Bay Rays to come to Oldsmar for Tampa Bay Downs to build the stadium there. Now we're back in talks. The Rays do not want to be in downtown St. Petersburg, or they don't want to be in Ybor City either. One of the cleanest and most safest areas would be Oldsmar by the Tampa Bay Downs.
All right, so hold on. So Roger, you're claiming that you're with Tampa Bay Downs?
Yes, sir. I sit on the board, and we're in talks with the Rays of bringing the Rays to Tampa Bay Downs in Oldsmar. It's plenty of area, it's a safe area, and it's nothing like Ybor City or downtown St. Petersburg. That's for sure.
All right, so Roger, how do I know that you are who you say you are, and how do I know this is a legit phone call?
Could I send you an email? What's your email?
I mean,
Yeah. You know what, Roger? What would the email say? Is there going to be an email extension that's going to say, "Okay, you're legit"?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What's it going to say?
Tampa Bay Rays, Oldsmar.
Listen.
No. What if you send me an email? Is it going to come from an official email address?
Yes, it's going to come from Tampa Bay Downs.
Oh, okay. All right. Do me a favor. Send while we're on the phone, send me an email right now, mj@mjmorningshow.com. Just send me a test email.
Admittedly, Roger, you're making some pretty big.
Roger, are you at a computer right now?
I'm driving right. I'm driving right now.
All right, so
I'm driving to my next meeting.
Taking you at your word, which we'll investigate the.
Well, Roger, can you pull over for a second and send me an email? I want to see that it says it comes from Tampa Bay Downs.
I could.
Yeah,
but it's really heavy traffic right now. Can I pull over and send it? Hang up and pull over and send it?
I want to hear what this guy who might be real has to say, MJ.
All right. So go. You inquire then. Go ahead. Fester.
So the Rays are.
You take over the questioning.
Well, you wait for your email to pop in.
Listen, I'm just skeptical by nature. I've got to make sure that.
We can preface everything with, "Hey, we don't know how valid this is. We're just taking a call."
All right, go ahead, Fester.
But Roger, so you're in talks right now with the Tampa Bay Rays to build a stadium, or the Downs is in talks with the Rays?
Right next to Tampa Bay Downs. That's where they're looking to build it.
Like on
that
the
open field area.
On the
Upper
parking
Racetrack
side?
Road.
On the parking side, the Pinellas County side?
On the right side, on the right-hand side of Tampa Bay Downs.
All right, and is there enough infrastructure road-wise to handle
there would be
that kind of
Hillsborough Avenue would turn into a Dale Mabry type highway to funnel that kind of traffic, right?
So do you have the ability to send potentially 25,000 fans on the roads to that location?
Yes, we do. By the way, it's one day till race day, till tomorrow, live racing at Tampa Bay Downs.
Okay. Where will the horses run? At the Tampa Bay Downs? You won't have them
That is correct. We're looking to get machines in there as well. All these you see these fish game places around, and we're going in that same avenue to put the machines in and have baseball there as well.
All right, so Roger, hold on, Fester, did you find a link to Roger? Would you tell us your last name, Roger?
Roger Back.
Okay, so Roger.
All right, Roger, I'm going to put you on hold, and I want you to give Andrew your contact information. So, and I want Andrew to call you right back. Hold on a sec. All right, so Andrew, pick up the caller, pick up Roger, get his name and phone number, and then I want you to call him right back and see if it's legit. Did he hang up? Yeah, see?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
See, listen, don't try to BS me.
So,
And Fester, you're like, I'm Mr. Skeptical over here because I am, and I'm like, I don't know.
Then you blow the guy. If we're going to put the guy on, listen, everything's prefaced with, "Hey, this guy might be trying to put us on." Roger Beck is not currently an officer at Tampa Bay Downs, according to their website.
Fester's on the list of officers and board members, and I don't even see there's no Roger on there.
Yeah.
Also, his voice was a little like he was putting on a little bit of a voice there. Listen, my BS detector. my BS detector went off right away because also, you're not going to call a radio morning show and say that you're in negotiations.
You're on the board of directors.
Yeah, and you're in You're not going to call the MJ Morning Show and say you're in negotiations with the Rays to put the Rays next to Tampa Bay Downs. Come on.
I've never heard of the Downs as a viable
Not even
location.
I don't know how you wouldn't be able to get that volume of traffic in and out of there. Come on.
Tell
Give
you
me a
what.
break. Yeah. Anyway, so I detected, my BS detector went off like that. And that's why I was very tepid. That's why I was, kind of,
hesitant.
Yep. And
I was buying his story hook, line, and sinker.
You were.
He sounded very credible.
And you were yelling at me because I was doing my job and my due diligence in trying to.
Everything can be prefaced with, "Hey, we don't know anything about this guy."
You were buying him hook, line, and sinker. I'm over here saying you're yelling at me for doing my job.
I was interrogating him. I was not asking him for parking passes. I mean, that would have been buying it hook, line, and sinker.
There's no way if you're in secret negotiations that you're going to call as a board member and blow the whole. Come on. I mean, there's so many red flags in that phone call, and that's how I was like, okay, send me an email right now. I can't pull over right now. Yeah, let me see an email that says, TampaBayDowns.com. Yeah, that was never coming. And
I can only send you something from a Gmail that says Roger.
I can send you a Roger 2699574 at hotmail.com.
All right, it's pretty official.
Yeah, listen, don't try to BS me. I'm one of the best BS detectors in the business. Anyway, so that's where the Rays thing is. And, are they going to patch this back together? Are the Rays maybe using this as leverage to try to get a better deal with St. Pete? Probably. Is there an appetite for St. Pete and Pinellas County to bend over even further and take a Louisville Slugger inserted even further up there? I don't think so. I don't think so. Listen, we have to be ready for maybe the Rays just leaving town, going somewhere else. Or I think it would be great if they looked at Derby Lane, just a little further north here in Pinellas County in St. Pete, just right up 4th Street, or a Tampa location. I think it'd be much better for attendance. And listen, the fairgrounds were mentioned. Ybor City was mentioned. Channelside years ago was mentioned. I don't know if there's the real estate down there now. Probably not.
Hell, let's put it on Park Boulevard, right? The old Wagon Wheel Flea Market.
Oh, Wagon Wheel Flea Market.
It's been closed now for 3-4 years.
Wagon Wheel.
Dude.
Right across from where Bennett Motor Cars used to be or whatever it was. Remember
Everybody rides.
And Bennett. Remember Kim Bennett?
Yeah.
Everybody rides.
What's she doing these days?
I don't know, but Kim Bennett was...
She's a sweethart.
She was sweet.
She was...
Where's Kim Bennett?
She's doing good. I'm friends with her.
You are?
She's good. Yep.
Oh.
She was local hot stuff for a while.
Yeah.
What's she doing?
She's still hot stuff.
Rides.
Different kind of hot stuff.
Yeah, I remember those days. Well, all right, so that's the Rays update here on the MJ Morning Show, and even a guy trying to pull the wool over my eyes and BS me, but obviously,
I'm with Tampa Bay Downs.
Yeah, I wasn't buying that from the get go. Fester was hook, line, and sinker suckered.
Call me
folks,
Roger.
If you want to sucker somebody,
Yes.
just call Fester. Fester will buy fake crypto from you. Call Fester at 813-310-8444. If you want to scam Fester, Fester will fall for anything. 813-310-8444.
Dude, I will tell you right now, I won't buy fake crypto, most likely. However, dude.
What?
Right after the election, Dogecoin kind of jumped.
It did,
Right? It
yeah.
jumped from 7 to 12. And so I'm like, you know what? What do I have to lose? Let me put a couple of bananas on it. 39 cents. Dogecoin's going through the roof, baby.
Through the roof, 39 cents.
Yeah.
All right, now shifting gears quite dramatically. Let's talk about a bride bursting into tears and upset. Her wedding was ruined. Oh my God, this is not good. Imagine this happened to you. So this bride was humiliated. Why? Because the guests at the wedding did not like the vegan food at the wedding. The wedding guests ordered pizza delivery to the wedding reception.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my. Yeah, this is a Reddit story. Listen, if it's real. And anyway, even it's just interesting. So listen, Reddit's got a little bit of everything. You know, was this the Am I the Bleep Hole forum? So the bride says that she was humiliated, that her guests totally upstaged her at her very own wedding, that she had an upscale, high-end, gourmet vegan menu, but apparently the guests didn't like it. So they ended up ordering a whole stack of like meat lovers pizza to the.
That's insult to injury.
Listen, I don't know if it was meat lovers pizza, but that's the obvious. That's the obvious joke here.
If you would have ordered just plain cheese or like the veggie, maybe you get away with it a little bit. But.
So the bride went on Reddit, and apparently she went crying to the bathroom. She and her husband spent almost $15,000 for this high-end vegan menu. They collaborated with a chef to create the gourmet 5-course meal, which happened to be vegan. They worked for months to come up with the menu. So I'll tell you what, listen, have I had good vegan food? Am I a vegan? No. But have I had some really good vegan dishes?
Okay, just because you accidentally ate couscous and didn't hate it doesn't mean you've eaten a bunch of vegan dishes.
You know, I had some food from this place called Flourish in Tampa, and it's vegan, and it was so good. Like, you thought you were eating not vegan stuff.
Now, not couscous, but quinoa. You like quinoa?
I like quinoa.
I tell you what, I had the quinoa chicken and pesto bowl at First Watch, and that is good. I hadn't been to First Watch in a while, and during the hurricanes, you know, our power was out, and then I guess they had power up there. We went to First Watch, and Michelle and Chloe, you know, they bounce around, you know, between Kiki's and First Watch, and you know, and different places, and I had this quinoa pesto bowl at First Watch. That was amazing with these like stewed tomatoes, and it was just I want to go back. You know what? I might go there for lunch today. Hey Michelle, let's go. I want to get that quinoa bowl again. Anyway, so this bride and the chef, they put together this $15,000 meal, 5-course gourmet, including mushroom Wellington. Tell you what, sounds good to me. I love mushrooms. I could be a vegetarian. I could I make vegetable stir fries all the time.
All right, great.
What do you move me along? Nothing to say. What do you?
I could be a vegetarian. Okay,
I could. Listen. Do I love a 32-ounce perfectly marbled prime ribeye? Damn right I do.
You just broke the cardinal rule of vegetarianism.
Medium rare. Just man, I'll just give me I'll eat that damn ribeye off the cowboy bone. I'll hold it like I'm in the Flintstones or something. All right, so.
There's only a couple of rules. You've just broken all of them.
But I love vegetables as well. So on the menu, mushroom Wellington, truffle risotto, roasted vegetable tarts, among the items, according to the 28-year-old bride.
I mean, it sounds like I could have gotten through one meal and been okay.
She said we deliberately didn't mention the food was vegan on the invitations because we wanted people to enjoy it without prejudice, okay? Every dish was designed to be delicious and satisfying, regardless of dietary preference. You know what? I believe that. And you know what? I bet you the food was great. I bet you that if I were at this wedding, I would have enjoyed everything there. Because, you know, just because it's vegan doesn't mean it tastes like freaking, you know, napkins.
Yeah.
You know?
Nobody's saying that. But because they didn't acknowledge what they were doing to their menu, they have no control over what the reaction was.
Anyway. Not everyone was happy with what was going on. I guess they figured it out. And then the bride says that 20 minutes later, I watched in horror as cousins walked in carrying 20 large pizzas.
Dude, if I go to my cousin's wedding, right? A guy who I love, I'm at his wedding, and he's unannounced serving vegan. The first thing I'm doing is talking to Uncle Eddie, and I'm like, hey, let's order a couple of pizzas up in this bitch and blow it up.
Listen to this. The 32-year-old brother of the bride So the bride's brother, Tom, and cousins walked in carrying stacks of 20 pizzas that they had ordered.
They thought they were being funny. I
Oh.
would have done the same thing. This bride needs to get over herself and enjoy the leftover couscous.
Oh, man.
And
Anyway,
He
she
really
says
does.
that her wedding was ruined, and she took to Reddit to tell the story.
Well, it sounds like she doesn't have very good friends. Those are the people she should not have invited if that's what they were going to do to her. If they don't know her that well, that she was going to get bent out of shape about it.
All right, 8:53 at the MJ Morning Show. Wow, unbelievable. Hey, 9 o'clock hour starts next, and we have a lot of stuff. Hey, I think I'm on to something. Add 11 years to your life. I think I'm on to something. People call me crazy, but I think I'm on. Am I going to add 11 years to my life? Also, if you think you're doing something really healthy with like Tom's toothpaste, you know that brand Tom's? It's like
Yeah.
no preservatives, no chemical. It's like
Right.
it's supposed to be like a healthy deal.
And doesn't it have like a chalky kind of feel to it?
I don't know. I've never put Tom's in my mouth. All right, so here's the deal. Well,
It was the first time for
well, you know what? Tom's used to be a snack company. Remember, you had Lance and then Tom's. Is Tom still around? Remember, like Lance crackers,
Like
little-
Tom's-
like,
yeah,
like the
chips.
like the rye cheese and the little the peanut butter little orange.
It's like a Winn-Dixie and supermarket brand.
Yeah. But no, vending machine, Lance.
Yeah.
And then, but Tom's was another brand of snacks. Anyway, so Tom's, not that Tom, not the snack Tom's, but Tom's of Maine, they're in a little bit of trouble. And if you're thinking you're just buying from some dude named Tom in Maine, yeah, it's a whole different story. So hold on. We'll get to that coming up in a minute. I got additional Hollywood stuff. Anyway, and the death whistle.
Ooh. Oh, yeah, you brought that up earlier.
Yeah, I don't know if we're going to have time for that today. I might push that till tomorrow. Anyway, we're loaded next here on the MJ Morning Show. If you have not gotten your entry in yet for the Banco Doors MJ Morning Show Liftmaster, I don't know what I'm going to do. Am I going to give in to the Google extortion? I mean, you get something free for so many years, and then they want to charge you for it. Even though I am morning show. MJ, Fester, Roxanne, Andrew, the producer, 904 here at the MJ Morning Show, 104.7 FM. It is Q105. Oh wait, you see, look at Jay Leno. Hurry up, look up at Jay Leno. So Jay Leno now has an eye patch on because he jammed himself in the eye. Look at his face. This guy is trying to kill himself.
His whole face is black and blue.
Listen to this.
And then I'm all black and blue from 60
my God.
feet.
Just last year, Leno was involved in a motorcycle accident that resulted in a shattered collarbone.
Wait a minute. He broke his collarbone on a motorcycle. Then he lit himself on fire.
Saying he was knocked off a classic 1940 Indian motorcycle when he rode into a wire stretched across two poles. That accident happened just 2 months after Leno was severely burned when a fire erupted in his garage while he was working on a vintage car. Leno telling Hoda about the terrifying incident.
My God.
Suddenly, boom, I got a face full of gas.
And then the pilot light jumped and.
All right, so Jay Leno is clearly trying to kill himself.
Look at that burn face on Jay.
Oh, dude, listen. Jay Leno's
Ooh,
face
like a
was
honeycomb.
nearly burned off.
Ouch.
Then he broke bones. He flew off his Indian motorcycle with a suicide car on the side. And now the latest is his whole freaking left side of his face looks like he was punched by Jake Paul and Mike Tyson.
Hours later, the iconic showman not wanting to disappoint his fans.
You're an ass. All right, so did he do a show? So his whole face is black and blue on the entire left side of his face. He's got he's got an eye patch on. I don't know if he poked his eyeball out, but hey, I got the story over here. Hold on.
Wow. So he's walking around like a bruised pirate.
Yeah, I had this in my celebrity pile, but they were just running the story on the third hour of today, so I thought I'd bring up the audio. That was live. 74-year-old Jay Leno, black eye, swollen face, bandaged wrist, as he arrived at the Comedy for Kobe event in Beverly Hills on Monday night. Leno, who was sporting an eye patch, told TMZ that he was holding up fine before revealing how he got injured. I was staying at a hotel on a hill. Where's a good place to eat? He asked. Oh, the bottom. The restaurant was there, but you had to get to it. I didn't have a car, so I had to walk about 1.5 miles. So he said, I don't think this hill looks too steep. It's about 60 or 70 feet. Let me see if I can go down there. He fell and rolled and tumbled down the hill, hit his head on a rock, knocked him in the eye.
Poor bastard.
Oh, my God. And then he ended up eating hospital food.
I do like the ice chips there.
What the?
Hospital food, not so good, but ice chips, yes.
Oh, my God.
Poor Jay.
So he actually showed up at the comedy show looking like he was run over by a train.
It's like one whole half of his face. His cheek, his eye socket, his forehead, his ear, completely black and blue.
Are we keeping track? He lit himself on fire. He flew off a motorcycle and busted his shoulder and collarbone. And now this. I'm telling you, Jay Leno, I mean, that's like 3 strikes. He's still alive, man. It's like a cat.
Yeah, that's it. Don't know more, Jay.
Jay Leno's not, maybe he's got 9 lives like a feline or something. But I'm telling Jay Leno's trying to kill himself. Clearly. You know what? Remember Deadpool Dave? Remember that guy years ago?
Yeah, he would talk about what celebrities are going to die in this calendar
year.
Yeah,
he had that death pool going on.
Yeah, fun stuff.
Yeah, what was that, like 15, 18 years ago?
Yeah, he did it for a long time. I remember the point scale. You got 1 point for every year under 100.
Mm.
So I picked Justin Bieber every year. It never happened.
Unbelievable. All right, so moving along. Tom's of Maine. This is supposed to be like the healthy toothpaste alternative. Well, first of all, if you think you're buying, I'm buying this toothpaste from Tom. Tom is up in Maine. It's a family company. I'm going to avoid all these big conglomerates. Guess what? Colgate Palmolive bought Tom out in 2006.
Yeah.
So Tom sold out. Said, I'm taking the money. This is bizarre that Tom's of Maine toothpaste was made with bacteria-contaminated water.
It sounds very natural.
What with, I want a good old mouthful of leptospirosis.
Listen.
I want some goat pee. Or, leptospirosis, like animal,
urine. Do you
Yeah.
want this purified water from this big industrial facility, or do you want water out of the creek?
Oh, my God. Anyway, Colgate Palmolive flagged by federal regulators for using water that's contaminated with dangerous bacteria to manufacture its popular Tom's of Maine toothpaste, as well as to clean the equipment used to mass produce the product at a key facility. Yeah, the FDA sent a letter to the company on Tuesday accusing it of not doing enough to address the problem, which was first noticed 3 years ago by Tom's of Maine. It's a Kennebunk, I should say, based personal care firm, which Colgate Palmolive bought in 2006. Yeah. The FDA lists several strains of the bacteria Pseudomonas aeruginosa, I can't even pronounce this, discovered in the water used to make Tom's of Maine Simply White Clean Mint toothpaste at the company's Sanford, Maine manufacturing plant between June 21 and October of 22. So this particular bacteria is an antibiotic-resistant pathogen that can cause pneumonia, urinary tract infections, and eye and blood infections. Tell you what, I think Jay Leno needs to use this to brush his teeth.
Yeah.
Yeah, the agency also wrote that Tom's of Maine reported multiple incidents too numerous to count, in which the bacteria Ralstonia insidiosa.
Ooh, just the fact that it has insidious in it, that sounds dangerous.
Yeah, found in the water as well. Yeah, R. insidiosa can cause respiratory tract infections and bloodstream infections, and that the Tom's of Maine response was inadequate. All right, so let me get this straight. So here you're buying Tom's of Maine toothpaste, and they sell over $100 million worth of products every year. So you're buying Tom's of Maine to avoid artificial colors or sweeteners, but you're getting a big old mouthful of bacteria.
Yeah.
From dirty water. You know what? Give me the artificial sweetener.
Yeah. I'll take all the artificial stuff you have.
Give me the polysorbate 80, Johnny. You know, I mean, come on. What the hell? That's insane. All right. Anyway, I've never used Tom. I've seen the stuff on the shelf, obviously. Doesn't Tom's also make aren't they like deodorant without like aluminum, the aluminum salicylate or whatever it is?
The quote unquote healthier deodorant. Yeah.
What is it called? Aluminum zirconium or whatever it is. You know, because some people say, "Oh man, it's bad for your health," and some
blocks your pores.
Or people saying that the aluminum gives you Alzheimer's or cancer or whatever the story is. Hey, speaking of health, man, I'll tell you, I think I'm onto something. What do I do every single day?
Bitch and complain.
That's number 2 on the list, but number 1.
Make mountains out of molehills.
Oh, look, Rox, I didn't melt down when he made a joke at my expense.
Overanalyze things.
So, say it again.
You overanalyze things?
No.
You make mountains out of molehills. You
Come on.
Ask inappropriate questions at inappropriate times.
Come on.
You annoy people.
Keep it coming.
Walk around with no shirt on.
Keep it coming.
You go to the gym twice a week. Right?
You're getting warmer here, so I do go to
sweat at the gym.
I go to the gym twice a week, and I also, along those lines, what do I do every day?
Eat pizza.
I walk.
Oh yes, you walk. That's right.
Walk.
You do. You are a vigilant walker.
All right. On Monday, I did 5 miles. Yesterday, let me check my Fitbit. Yesterday, I think I did 3 miles. Yesterday was 3 miles. 3.1 miles yesterday. So every week I'm walking about 30 miles is what my goal is. And guess what? New story out. How to add 11 years to your life.
What? Walk every day?
There you go, Holmes.
God.
Look at this. New research is out. Scientists found that those who walked for a total of 111 minutes per day on average lived 11 years longer than people who walked very, very little. All right, so when I do the 5-mile walk, typically it's around an hour and 20 minutes, so I'm totally in the range. 3 miles, a little less, but then you have all the other walking that I do during the course of the day, which is going to add up. So how about that? Experts have warned for years that being stationary for too much time raises all these health risks. I mean, this is just given. We know that.
All right.
Diabetes, cancer, anyway. But now they're saying that if you walk this amount, you could add 11 years to your life.
How far? What's the amount?
I just said it.
Well, say it again.
You walk for a total of 111 minutes per day.
Oh, so.
And this is on
almost 2 hours of walking.
This is on average, and it's usually 4 to 5 times a week that I do an hour and 20 to hour 30-minute walks.
Hold on, I bet you I walk pretty close.
Like today is going to be an hour and 30-minute walk. I'm going to do probably a little over 5 miles later today.
I walk probably an hour and a half a day, just
Really?
walking from my
From
car to the studio to the candy machine.
Get out of here.
If you add it up,
pilfer the desks
Yeah.
around here for
Not-
candy.
Not even close.
Yeah, I
And
mean-
then
I bet you I walk for 30 minutes a day.
Michelle sent me this.
Oh, by the way, Moses
Yeah.
lived to 120, so there might be something to it.
Oh, look at that. All the 40 days and
40 years.
40 years, whatever
40
it is, through the
years.
desert, 40 days and 40 nights or whatever.
A different
All right.
guy.
Yeah. Oh, okay. All right. So here's the deal. Speaking of walking,
Mm-hmm.
retro walking. I think we might have talked about this years ago. Do you know what retro walking is?
Walking backwards.
Yeah. And have you ever seen, I've seen this.
It's walking backwards in like 80s or 90s clothes.
It's completely retro.
Yeah. With flash dance leg warmers on. No, but seriously, people are saying they're getting better exercise, better workouts, walking backwards. I got to be honest. This is a freaking recipe to get hit by a car or something.
Dude, so is regular walking.
Let me walk and I can't see.
That's the thing. Where do you do it?
Or maybe you get those like the bicyclist glasses on with the little side mirrors or something.
I mean, you'd have to be like in like a baseball field or a football field where you have plenty of clearing and you know nobody's going to hit you. I'd be freaked out to walk backwards for too long.
Yeah, me too.
I think they have.
And you're going to get a little crook in your neck, always looking behind you.
That's why you need to, be in a completely open area so you're not that kind of, nervous.
Mm-hmm.
Do they have? Am I dreaming this? Do they have like backward walking, not marathons, but like a backward 3K or something?
Why don't you look that up and give me a full
For
report
some reason,
tomorrow.
I feel like that's a thing.
Yeah. The benefits of retro walking or walking backward. I guess there are benefits for like calf muscles and can impact your gait and balance ability. So there are numerous advantages. Anyway, I'm not going to be backward walking. Sorry.
The benefits of walking 3,000 to 4,000 steps a day backwards. And one, you can play kickball and hit a home run every time. All right. I don't know that I walk back. When I walk backwards, they should have like a beep, beep, beep.
like a big truck backing
up. If I step on you.
That's what, like that?
If I step on you when I'm walking forward, it's an injury. If I step on you walking backwards.
All right, breaking news on the MJ Morning Show. This is bizarre. Do you remember the story I did? Was it yesterday or Monday about Guy Fieri and Sammy Hagar's tequila load being ripped off?
I think it was Monday we did that?
I think it was Monday's show. Well, we've got an update to this.
It was like 2 semi-truckloads, which was like all the product.
It was $1 million. Over $1 million of allegedly Guy Fieri and Sammy Hagar's tequila. There was a report that 2 tractor-trailer loads, 4,000 cases of the tequila went missing, like big old heist, stolen. Well, would you like to hear the latest on this?
Did they capture the guys?
From Border Report out of McAllen, Texas, Laredo police on Tuesday were debunking reports that 2 trucks carrying tequila were stolen from a company owned by celebrities Guy Fieri and Sammy Hagar. However, what happened to the 4,000 cases of agave spirits is still unknown.
Hold on. Border police are saying that Guy and Sammy are lying about all of this?
Let's dive a little deeper in this. Several media reported the so-called November 12th heist of tequila from Santo Tequila, which is owned by American restaurateur Guy Fieri and former Van Halen singer Sammy Hagar. Guy and Sammy were distraught. Remember there was like it was a statement that came from the two, and they were devastated.
It was a huge setback.
This was the whole year's production or something to that effect. And despite having, listen to this, a front page story on the so-called heist in its Tuesday morning edition, by evening, this is yesterday evening, the Laredo Morning Times had reversed course and posted a story saying police told them it never happened. Initial reports said the two trucks carrying over 24,240 bottles of tequila reportedly were hijacked November 12th in Laredo, Texas. But Laredo police have apparently said that the heist didn't happen. No, nothing was forced, no force. And that the cops told the Laredo, Texas Morning Times no force was used. The trucks went elsewhere and delivered the load. And the cargo was only worth $385,000, not $1 million. What's going on here?
What a discrepancy.
That's weird.
Have Guy Fieri and Sammy Hagar, have they been busted telling a little fib?
How involved are they really with their tequila factory?
All right, listen to this. That's a far cry from early reports in the San Francisco Chronicle, People.com, Fox News, USA Today, the New York Post, and Forbes, all putting the so-called heist at $1 million. People.com was the first to report the story Saturday, claiming it was a devastating incident, quoting an exclusive interview with Fieri, who said the trucks went missing after being hijacked in Laredo. Fieri reportedly said that tequila took 39 months to create and would have a profound effect on their business. The company's distillers in Mexico. The story also noted that some red flags in the trucking reports that People obtained should have been a key. Laredo Morning Times says the Laredo police says it isn't a case of hijacked trucks, but misrouted trucks.
Oh.
What the? At this preliminary phase of the investigation, it's believed that at some point the trucks with tequila cargo were rerouted to California due to alleged issues with the warehouse at the original listed destination. Now, L.A. police are allegedly probing the case. The Los Angeles Police Department, LAPD, is involved in the investigation due to the alternative location where both drivers stated the cargo is actually transported to. No indications that these trailers were hijacked anywhere, as alleged in the national media. What is that? What's going on here? Come on. To the 101.
I love the California.
They went to California. They took the 10 to the 405 to the 101, and then the 138 to the Pasadena. And anyway, so this whole story is falling apart. But they look like big fat liars. 9:24 at the MJ Morning Show. Final chunk of the MJ Morning Show rolls next. Here on 104.7 FM, it's Q105, MJ and the crew. Plan B air. right, 9:32 at the MJ Morning Show. So, last segment, I was starting to talk about Google and my Gmail, and then the Jay Leno story came on, and I had that in my pile. I'm like, oh, let me grab some of this audio because they were talking about it on the Today Show, so I brought the live audio up. And Jay Leno now has hurt himself again. We swear he's trying to kill himself. We ought to do like a contest. When will Jay be successful in actually terminating himself?
I don't wish him any ill.
No. Listen, I love Jay. I think Jay Leno's fantastic.
Hopefully he has 9 lives.
I love Jay Leno. I saw him live years ago.
He's a good person, too. He's like a nice, good human.
When I lived in Los Angeles, when I lived in Hollywood back in 89, 90, 91, and I worked for a radio station out there, I used to go to which one was it? The Comedy Store. Which was Pauly Shore's mother? It was the other one. It wasn't Pauly Shore's mother's place. It was the other one on Melrose. So you had 2 famous comedy spots. So what was
the Laugh Factory?
Yeah, it might have been the Laugh Factory. Yeah, see if the Laugh Factory's on Melrose. Type in Laugh Factory.
Laugh.
Laugh Factory, Hollywood. See if it's on Melrose. So I think it was the Laugh Factory. So
on Sunset.
That's on
the
Sunset.
Laugh Factory is at Sunset.
Hold on, maybe. Anyway, it was one of the big comedy places that I used to go to.
Improv.
Probably. You know what? Was it Improv? Was the Improv on Melrose? I thought it was Melrose. Yeah, look for the Improv. Anyway, numerous times that I was at this comedy place.
Yeah, the Hollywood Improv was on Melrose.
Yeah, there it is. Okay, so it's still there. Yeah, it's the Hollywood Improv, 8162 Melrose Avenue. So it was the Hollywood Improv. So Jay Leno used to just show up randomly. And this was back when his stand-up career was like really big. And this was just a couple of years before he replaced Johnny Carson.
He took over for Carson in 92.
92. So, I used to see Leno out in L.A. like 90, 91. And he used to pop into the Improv. And he used to go with friends. And it was a good time. And the Improv guy, he was a famous guy. I forgot his name. He used to come on stage. He was the host and the owner of the place. And he would just come on stage. Hey, got a special treat for you tonight. Wants to try out some new material? Jay Leno. And Leno would just pop out and just do like a 30-minute set.
Mm-hmm.
And You know, he was nice, and then he like talked to you afterward in the audience. He was just a nice guy. So I don't want Jay Leno to die, but it's like he's doing everything possible to try to kill himself, is what it sounds like with his latest accident, tumbling down an 80-foot hill, and then smashing his face into a rock. Oh my God, it's insane! Come on, Jay. All right. Final chunk of the MJ Morning Show. I got to lighten around a couple of things. I've had a couple of emails. Hey, you going to talk about this this Aztec death sound?
How?
Yeah, it's going to scare me.
This goes back to the Aztec people.
Yeah, you know what? I got to be honest. I'm not superstitious. I'm not fearful of playing this. I'm a little concerned. I don't want to freak the audience out.
Is it the Aztec death whistle?
It's the Aztec death whistle. And Andrew pulled 3 different examples. Now, these death whistles were found buried with Aztecs. And it lets out this horrific shriek. And it's awful. And the Aztecs made this special whistle. And it has like 2 chambers, and it's called spine tingling, and it's compared to, like, I guess, the windpipe in the old, and listen, I mean, we're talking, millions and millions of years ago, but the velociraptor, the dinosaur, the velociraptor.
That piercing.
Yeah, it's that piercing shriek. And apparently the velociraptor had a similar type of esophageal or larynx type setup with like double air chamber. So the whistle was made in a similar fashion, and some people just get creeped out regarding the ancient Aztec death whistle. And I teased this earlier, and I kind of asked the question, should we play it? Should we tell the story? The ancient Aztec death whistle terrifies people even today. And it's even said, listen to the whistle if you have the guts. So I'm just wondering, and I'm not scared of the whistle, but that would really suck if we played the whistle and then some bad things started to happen.
Yeah, let's not do that.
You know?
Yeah, then maybe don't play the whistle.
So I just didn't want to freak out listeners. So
Isn't that a wrap? Yes.
So I kind of put it off, and we're almost at the end of the show. So I'm not going to do it now. So I have to decide tomorrow whether maybe we should go to the phones and ask the audience tomorrow whether we should talk about and play the Aztec ancient death whistle. Do you want to hear it? Are you intrigued? I mean, this is like a spooky.
Don't play the whistle, but Fester has something to play. He just found it.
I don't know what the lyrics are in this song, Rox.
Is it a clean version?
I don't know. It's by Too Short. It's
Blow the Whistle by Too Short. Dude, that is a parental advisory on it.
Oh, don't do it. Don't do that one.
We'll pull a
Find
clip.
the clean version.
That is not going to be the clean radio version.
Listen, for tomorrow, we'll pull a clip of Too Short's Blow the Whistle.
Heads up tomorrow. We'll find out. I'll survey the audience and see if people want me to play the examples of the ancient Aztec death whistle that terrifies people. It's like this shriek. It's like the most terrifying sound you've ever heard. We'll see. You want to hear something else terrifying?
Yes, let's hear it.
Tropicana. Now, I'll tell you what. If it's not the roof at Tropicana Field, it's Tropicana orange juice itself, based down in Bradenton.
Bradenton, yeah, big facility.
Well, there's a problem. I saw a story on CNN's website that Tropicana fans are ditching the brand after the bottle redesign. Now, I didn't we kind of, obviously, I love fresh squeezed. So when you can find actual fresh squeezed, and I'm not talking about, the lightly pasteurized, because when you pasteurize orange juice, it totally changes the flavor. Nothing beats, when you take actual juice oranges and you press them and you drink that juice right out of the flippin' orange, that's the best. That's my favorite type of orange juice, is the absolute 100% fresh squeezed. But if you don't have access to that or you don't buy that, and you got to be careful, the stuff that looks like it's fresh squeezed, if it says lightly pasteurized on it, it's heated to kill the bacteria, and it just doesn't have the fresh squeezed taste. So haven't purchased Tropicana. If I'm at a bagel shop and they've got the little 16-ounce bottle of Tropicana in the fridge, I'll
I
grab
have
one of those.
against Tropicana.
I have nothing.
Right,
yeah, I have nothing against Tropicana.
Certain brands I'd avoid, but Tropicana, if it's available, I'll have it.
I'll tell you what we've been buying for a while, though. For the home, for the actual orange juice that we have in the fridge now, Michelle's kind of settled on the Coral Reef brand. Have you seen that?
Yeah.
I haven't seen that one.
Yeah, and every once in a while there's like a BOGO at Publix on that thing.
BOGO before.
Yeah, so it's Publix has Coral Reef, and I think that comes from over on the other side. I think it comes from like Volusia County or something.
It's a good,
and
good
it's tasty. Anyway, Tropicana, who I have nothing against, but I tell you what, if it's not the roof blowing off Tropicana Field, now we got the roof blowing off sales apparently on Tropicana. CNN. They say that Tropicana customers are in a revolt over an orange juice bottle redesign again.
Yeah, I really like the old bottle.
So it had that.
It's called a crown cap.
It was like it was the big giant cap, and it was like a carafe.
Yeah.
And now Tropicana has gotten rid of that bottle, and they've gone to a generic like this linear straight
jug.
Up and down. It's not even a jug. It's like a milk carton looking thing now. There's no character to it. Oh, by the way, Coral Reef also recently changed their cap. So Coral Reef also used to have that big giant cap like the old Tropicanas. And in just the last couple of weeks, it seems that Coral Reef, they changed their cap and went to a slimmer neck. Juice tastes the same. But Tropicana recently ditched its distinct orange juice in the clear plastic circular shaped bottles with a thinning neck and a crown-like bottle cap known as the carafe. Over the summer, it rolled out a more traditional-looking plastic bottle and also downsized the bottle from 52 ounces to 46 ounces. What? They also narrowed the label. It's like a skinny tie now. It's like a skinny tie label to fit the new, slimmer bottle. And the customers hate it. Tropicana fans are frustrated about the new look, and they're saying, we're getting ripped off now, selling smaller bottles. Although the prices of the new bottle are supposed to be lower, not all stores are following Tropicana's price recommendation on the price drop, apparently. But listen, these used to be 64 ounces. They used to be a half gallon, just like ice cream. Half gallon. Then became a quart and a half. So they took I remember that initially, so Tropicana was at 52 ounces. You also had a lot of juices that went from 64, a full half gallon, down to 59. Remember that? There was like a 59 ounce. So, it's all part of the whole shrinkflation garbage that we all have to deal with. Yeah. And in many cases, it's less product, smaller packaging, and the same price or more. So fans are going nuts on Tropicana, and sales are down. So sales were steady for the year, but plunged almost immediately after they put the new bottles on the shelf.
I mean, it's almost one whole less serving.
Yeah. In July, Tropicana sales dipped 8.3% from the prior year.
Wow. A lot of juice.
Yep. August sales dropped 10.9%. Listen to this. By October last month, Tropicana sales dropped 19%. That is a horror show. If you're in marketing, if you sell, your sales dropped 19%
over a bottle. Are they even aware? I mean, the bottle weighs less.
Tropicana also lost about 4 percentage points of market share to Simply Orange, which that brand is owned by Coca-Cola.
That's a good juice.
Yeah. Wow. That's unbelievable. Tropicana sales have dropped by an estimated $30 million since the bottle redesign. Hey, Tropicana, bring the old bottle back.
Why can't they put out a half-gallon jug? Charge $1.50 more and give me a half gallon.
I'll buy that.
Right? But, Bluebell.
Yeah.
Bluebell ice cream, they still have the half-gallon containers.
Ice cream. Yep.
But it's also priced
Of course.
Yeah. So generally, what isn't like a half gallon, like $7.29 or so,
$7-8 maybe.
Yeah, something like. But so they're charging more, but you still get the half gallon versus like these little slim little. You get these little like quart and a half now. You get 2 scoops, you're done.
Yeah.
It's like festive. You grab some of these smaller containers of ice cream. It's like you probably eat the whole thing in one sitting. Is that funny?
Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah.
I know you're not into Bluebell ice cream like I am. I think it's the finest of the store brands. They have an oatmeal pie, which is essentially the Little Debbie oatmeal pie.
All jammed up in it?
I bought it last night. It's fantastic.
I'm sure it is. Anyway, Tropicana is feeling the heat.
Why don't you come over? We'll have some ice cream.
It's not just from the pasteurizing machines. Tropicana, let me give you a little, and we're heard down there.
They got to make some changes.
Hello, Tropicana in Bradenton. This is your official unpaid, actually, your unofficial. This is your unpaid, unofficial marketing consultant, MJ. Go ahead and bring your old bottle back and watch your sales go back up.
How many millions of dollars do you guys at Tropicana spend on consultants? And here we are giving you free good advice. Bunch of ingrates.
And I wonder if they have any of those big, giant plastic caps left over. Melt those down and put them on the roof at Tropicana Field.
You know what? I bet you'd be water resistant.
Yeah, it would.
Apparently with this smaller lid, they also don't have to put the foil seal on it.
Oh, okay.
So it saves one more step in the process.
Yeah, you have that little foil seal on top or whatever that thing is. All right, 9:46 at the MJ Morning Show.
We got to roll.
Says who?
It's that time.
We got to get.
It is.
Do you want to get a head start?
Yeah, it is. So the big debate is going to be whether we talk about and play the Aztec death whistle on tomorrow's show. Or people are going to be so superstitious that, they're like, oh, you can't.
I don't want to hear it.
Yeah, look, Roxanne doesn't want to hear that thing.
If it has to do with what I think it has to do with,
All right, well, listen, we'll see what plays out. We'll find out tomorrow. If you need to get a hold of me, folks, I'm MJ at MJMorningshow.com. That's also the email address to send in your entry for the Banco LiftMaster garage door opener giveaway. We're giving away the top-of-the-line LiftMaster garage door opener. It's the best that LiftMaster makes. Banco is going to install it. This is almost $1,000 prize. Would you like to win this brand-new state-of-the-art garage door opener from LiftMaster installed by Banco? It's easy. Just send me an email, mj at mjmorningshow.com. The best story wins. I don't care if it's a real story or a fake story. The best story wins the garage door opener. We'll have the contest and the entry period open until the end of the day on Friday. And then Monday next week, we'll announce the winner. MJ at mjmorningshow.com is my email for you to send the entry or anything else that you have for the MJ Morning Show. Follow my Instagram, Certified MJ Radio. Follow the show Instagram, MJ Morning Show. And we'll see you back here tomorrow. MJ Morning Show, Q105. And let's be careful out there.
Download the app now. Get the Q105 app and listen to us anywhere. Powered by Anna.